But you know what? You know what we can take away from it? We made it to the playoffs. And we should have beat the Bills with a backup quarterback in the game. This is a team that we can look forward to next season because they're building on a lot of great things. We're probably going to go further next year. It was a super fun season to watch. I had so much fun watching these games with you and cheering for the Dolphins with you. And we're going to do it again next September. Right?
I don't think Josh Allen's going to be totally happy with his performance. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? I saw that, and that was sent to me this morning. Good morning, Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I saw that this morning and was instantly transported back to myself being a childhood, kid, and just felt, what do the Dolphins need to do, to just do better and be better. And I remember that feeling as a kid. And, man, it just brought me right back. It just brought me right back into it. But it is, the #1 Miami fan morning show. And I'm super excited to be hanging out with you all this morning. Good morning, right here. It is Therapy Monday. Depleted Dolphins put up fight in Buffalo, but they lose in the playoffs. So, I don't know where we go from here, but we're going to talk about it today. We're going to have therapy today, right here on Clock Blockers, home of the #1 Miami fan morning show. My name is Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure you follow me, especially on Twitter. Always a big Twitter guy. Follow Miami Sports Music at Miami Sports Music everywhere except for Twitter, where it's at MIA Sports Music. Make sure you hit that like button on the way in, and also subscribe to the channel. Make sure you all do that. It's a big deal. Join now if you haven't signed up to become a member. What are you waiting for? The football season's over, but the season here at Miami Sports Music never stops. And we always keep this train moving. We're going into this will be the second off season. No, this will be the third year. We're in our second year, but we're going into our third football season together because it's the off season now. Unfortunately, sign up, become a member today. Would love to get 2 new members to the channel. Make sure you guys do that today. Hey, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, lots of different ways you can do it. You can use the YouTube Live Super Chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. You can also use Cash App and PayPal, MSM Podcast Network with a $ in front of it, or MSM Podcast Network for PayPal. All right. They definitely both help. So if you want to help the channel grow, make sure you guys donate. I don't care even if it's $1 if you're able to do it. If you're not, hey, make sure you share the link, hit the like button, and just let people know that we're here. That always helps too, and that helps the channel grow. Want to give a big shout out to our sponsor, ZSM Sports. ZSM Sports, cars, jerseys, balls, and hard to find items. Best place for ZSM to be the #1 go-to spot for sports memorabilia for all your needs. They got great stuff. So call Zach today or give Zach a shout out at Sports ZSM on Instagram. Hangry Owls, good food, good mood, craft subs and salads. They got great desserts too. They are located in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Make sure you give them a call at 305-279-5332 and give them a follow at Hangry Owls. Veza, born and raised the official beer of Clock Blockers, just like beer that was created for the fans by the fans. We're a network that was created by a fan for the fans, and that's what we do. Great place to sit.com. You need great tickets to any sporting concert or any live event, period. Theater, doesn't matter. Great place to sit.com is the place to go. The price you see is the price you get. And last but not least, Tailgater. Download the app today on your current Apple or Android device today. I think I have to say something nice about Apple every day for a month. Is that what I have to do? Okay. Apple is a good way that my family can talk to each other because my wife has it. My wife has it, and my mom has it, and so they can talk to each other. All right, that's one nice thing I've said about Apple today. I gotta say something nice about Apple every day for a month. God, this is gonna be hard. Because we hit the donation goal last Friday on Spread Kindness Friday. Guess what? No swear jar today. No swear jar this morning on the show. So yeah, no swear jar this morning. Let's get down right up into it. Obviously, today's show is going to be a tough show to obviously do for many different reasons. But, I want to be able to talk about everything from, the coaching staff to, the game yesterday, just everything. And I'm going to give you my thoughts and feelings on it. But, couple things. Number one, Miami played – we lost 34-31. Very tough game. Very good game. We held Buffalo scoreless in the fourth quarter. We scored in 3 out of the 4 quarters. There was lots of good things to talk about yesterday. And I feel it's only right that we do it. We had our third string quarterback. We had backups upon backups in. We had somebody who was signed to the squad only 2 or 3 days prior in Cotton and then started on the offensive line. I said in order to be competitive, we would need to score at least 25 points, and Skylar Thompson would at minimum need to throw for 220 yards. That's exactly what they did yesterday, and then some. With the exception of, I think, 1 or 2 other games, one other game the entire weekend. 31 points would have been enough to beat any other team the entire weekend. You can't get – let me tell you, it was so tough yesterday. I've never felt like that yesterday. Never felt like that after a game. I know there's a lot of fans that'll say, oh, there's no moral victories, and I think there's some truth in that. But I walked yesterday. I'm telling you, after Miami Dolphin losses, I don't even want to watch football the rest of the day. I watched every single snap of all the other games yesterday. They hurt watching because I just knew Miami, oh my God, if they had won, they could have. But they put up a fight. There was just something about this team. They put up a fight, and there was something to be proud of about that. You go back to the last 12, I think it's like 12 or 14 playoff games. As a matter of fact, I retweeted it. Let me throw it up here. So where's it at? Where's that thing at? All right, yeah. Since a 1-point loss to San Diego Chargers in the 1994 season in the divisional round, I think the Dolphins have played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 playoff games since 1994. Okay. So they were 0-11. Or they weren't 0-11. They had 1-3. They had a 6-point win against Indianapolis in overtime, which was the last playoff win, if I'm correct. Then before that, they had a 3-point win against Seattle and then a 7-point win in Buffalo or versus Buffalo. Otherwise, they had gotten killed 18 points, 17 points, 27 points, 55 points, 33 points, 14 points, 15 points. The team had been getting blown out for years. And if I'm honest with myself, I fully expected that yesterday. Vegas odds had us at 14. If you go back and listen to last week's show at all, I kind of felt, okay, it was probably 10. I didn't feel 14 was good. I said, if it's 10, that would probably be right where I would think. I can admit that I thought we were going to lose. I thought we were going to get killed. And I had every right to think that. We come off a 5-game losing streak. We didn't score any touchdowns in the last win against the Jets. And the Bills are favored as one of the best teams in the NFL. And I knew we matched up well against them. And I knew that we had a shot to beat them if everything almost went perfect. And it almost did. Our defense played lights out. They scored. They turned the ball over. They put Josh Allen on his ass. They did every single thing they could to make him feel uncomfortable yesterday. He definitely had some good moments. He had some good throws. He was definitely Josh Allen at times. We were facing one of the best quarterbacks, hands down, in the NFL. But the defense stood tall and they stood up. And I can tell you right now, the Bills play like that against any other team in this postseason, they're not going to win football games. They're not going to go to the Super Bowl. I can promise you that. And that's no disrespect to the Bills. That's just the reality of their situation. I walked away from that game yesterday, as I said, just feeling different. Just feeling, because I was sad. I was just like that kid yesterday. I was just like that kid yesterday. And now we got like over 100 people in the room, and there was only 20 when I played this. I'll play this one more time because, you know, I to me, there's something to it. So let me just play this real quick. Hopefully you guys.
But you know what? You know what we can take away from it? We made it to the playoffs. And we should have beat the Bills with a backup quarterback in the game. This is a team that we can look forward to next season because they're building on a lot of great things. We're going to go further next year. It was a super fun season to watch. I had so much fun watching these games with you and cheering for the Dolphins with you. And we're going to do it again next September. Right?
I can tell you right now, I've been in this situation. It's shout out to Getting Higgy. I think it's Getting Higgy with it on TikTok, because I've been there. I've been in that kid's shoes. My daughter, who's 7 years old, watched the entire game with me yesterday. And you know, my daughter was hugging me at the end of the game, saying, "It's okay, Daddy. You know, it's okay." In fact, it was probably the other way around. I was the kid crying yesterday, and my daughter was the dad. "It's gonna be okay, Daddy. It's gonna be okay." I wasn't crying, but I was sad. I was super depressed. I was. I don't even know if depressed is the right word. I was just. I don't know how I felt yesterday because I was proud of the fight that they put up, and they shut up the national pundits. There's not one thing the national media, in my opinion, could say about our game yesterday. We went into Buffalo and almost made the upset of all upsets. And I get we're sitting here talking about almost. I get that. But that's the reality of the situation that we're in. We lost yesterday, and it sucks. But just like that dad said, it was a fun season. This was one of the funnest seasons. That video put everything in perspective for me. I'm ready for next year. I'm ready for. I truly believe McDaniel's the future of this franchise. Do I know if Tua is? I don't know. I'm sure we'll get into that with you guys in the fan base, not only today, but over the next few months and into the offseason and into next season, or until something changes. But it was to me, I look back on it and I've never felt like that after a loss because I've never had a loss like that in the playoffs in recent memory. We usually get killed in the playoffs. And I fully expected walking into yesterday's game to get killed in the playoffs. And it was just a roller coaster of a season. 3 wins, 3 losses. 5 wins, 5 losses. A win to get into the playoffs and a brawl, a bar fight. This is a bar fight, Craig, bar fight with one of our bitter rivals in the AFC East in the playoffs. I was very proud of them. There's nothing else I can say other than I was proud of the fight that these men walked into Buffalo and almost gave them circle wagon girls their just due. And I'll say they play like that the rest of the against anybody. They're not going to win games. And I truly believe had we had a more experienced quarterback, we probably would have won that. And that's no disrespect to Skyler, because Skyler played the best game of his career yesterday. And for all intents and purposes and for the sake of the conversation, Skyler has gotten better the more he has played. But he made rookie mistakes. He made some bad mistakes. McDaniel made some horrible decisions yesterday. But we wouldn't be in this position if it wasn't for McDaniel. I have to my hope, and I know this sucks talking about, but it's we're out of the playoffs. Our season is over, so we might as well. The Dolphins. If you're a Dolphins fan, how I believe you should be feeling right now, and I know not everybody is, and I'm going to open up the lines here soon, and I'm sure I'm going to get different things from different people. But how I do believe the Dolphins fans should feel is proud of the season that they've had and understanding that our shortcomings this year had a lot of come on, the injuries that we had to face. We had to start an offensive lineman who we signed to the team 2 days prior. And it hurts because we know that we were good enough to win, even with all the BS that we had to endure. There's a lot of things that need to get cleaned up. The stupid penalties need to get cleaned up. Getting the play in needs to get cleaned up. Being more disciplined. Drop passes yesterday. We don't drop passes, we probably win that game. That's a real thing. We could talk all the shit we want about Skyler. We don't drop passes, we probably win that game. You could narrow it down to that, simple as fuck. Excuse my language, but it's no swear jar Monday. And the only reason there's no swear jar is because y'all donated enough to the channel. We made a goal that if y'all hit a certain number on Friday, that there would be no swear jar on Monday, and you guys wanted no swear jar on Monday, so there's no swear jar today. But it's. I don't think this is the same old song with the same team. This feels different. And I hope that and I think it should for you too. Proud of you guys. The future is bright in Miami. Proud of our guys. The future is bright in Miami. Thank you for the $2 donation. William, the Ice Tray Perry. 100% on everything so far, Stephen D. I appreciate it. We don't drop passes. Skyler throws for 300 yards, Al says. I believe that. There were minimum seven passes yesterday that we don't drop. We probably get to score some points on some of those plays. Or extend drives, so instead of field goals, now they're touchdowns. There you go. There's your 3-point game. Minimum we get into overtime. Best case scenario, we're probably winning by a field goal or 4. There's a lot of things we need to tighten up next year. There's a lot of decisions that have to be made. Chris Greer's got his work out for him. And we could talk about moral victories, and I know everybody says there's no such thing as moral victories, but I'm sorry. I felt very sad and very hurt that we lost yesterday, but I felt very proud of how we played. Can't get mad at how we played. I can get mad at certain things about how we played, but am I going to get mad at a head coach for making some stupid decisions in his first year as a rookie head coach? No, clean it up. Next year, you make those same decisions, I'm going to feel some type of way about it, McDaniel. Skyler, am I going to get mad at some of the Am I going to get mad at whatchamacallit? Am I going to get mad at Skylar Thompson, a third string rookie quarterback, 7th round pick, because of some of the interceptions he made? No. I'm not going to get mad. I'm that's probably not true. I am upset about it, but I'm not going to say it's the reason we lost the game. We had plenty of opportunities throughout that entire game on many different aspects of it to win the game. I can get mad at McDaniel for making the play call that led to the interception. There's just so many things. A rookie head coach, tons of injuries, third string quarterback. You know the difference between Brock Purdy and Skylar Thompson yesterday? Real talk. Brock Purdy's wide receivers caught passes yesterday. I'm not content with mediocrity. But I don't think what we displayed yesterday was mediocre. I think what we displayed yesterday is was something that you have to admit in the last 20 years you have not felt as a Dolphins fan. And if you try to say you have, I'm gonna call bullshit. Because we've never had a close playoff game. In the last, since 1994, when we lost by 1 point to the San Diego Chargers, we had never played a close game like that in the playoffs. I don't think it was mediocre. We played against one of the best teams in the NFL. We went toe-to-toe with them. Yes, there were drop passes. Yes, there were bad timeouts called. Yes, the discipline on this team is frustrating. We, in my opinion, and I know some of you are going to disagree with me, but in my opinion, we're on the up and up with this team. And I'm okay with moving things, and I know this is going to piss off a lot of fans, but I don't know what to do about the quarterback situation, and that's real. And I haven't sat there and contemplated enough about how to move forward with Tua or the quarterback situation. But whatever they decide to do, whether it is to retain Tua, as was reported by Adam Schefter yesterday, which, by the way, I'm pretty pissed off that Adam Schefter tweeted that as we're leading up to a playoff game. Who gives a flying F? Today, it's a great thing to come out and say. We had a playoff game yesterday, Scheft. Anyways. It's the reality of the world we live in. We live in our timeline. All our universe is the Dolphins lost yesterday. If you want to go to another alternate universe and jump through space portals and do that, by all means, go ahead and do it. But in this unfortunate universe, the Dolphins lost yesterday. And that sucks. But it doesn't make it any less true when I say that I'm proud of my team and the fight that they put up yesterday. And I'm excited for the future of this franchise. And I don't remember a time in recent history where I think I've had unbiased faith as a fan, or a biased faith in a fan, right? Not unbiased, biased faith. You know, but the Dolphins have a lot to do moving forward. But now McDaniel needs to sit back, realize where all of his mistakes were. Learn from them. Learn from his mistakes. If McDaniel's making the same mistakes on a consistent basis next year, then I have a problem with McDaniel. If we as a team are as undisciplined as I thought we were in certain aspects of the game this year, unacceptable. How do I feel about Josh Boyer? If they decide to move on from him, I'm 100% on board. If they decide to retain him, how can I get mad to a certain extent? Because, I mean, look what they did yesterday against Josh Allen. Now it's I don't know. If I had my choice, I probably would get rid of Boyer and bring in, and if I'm McDaniel, I'm bringing in my own guy. But I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, man. It's amazing how 2 weeks change your whole demeanor. 2 weeks ago, I was 100% on board that if the Dolphins didn't make it in, they got to get rid of everybody. But 2 weeks later, after a win against the Jets, which wasn't a pretty one, and a hard-fought loss in the AFC wildcard game, which, by the way, just want to throw it out there as a side note, I said that 7 teams in the NFL playoffs was a joke. Every single game yesterday was a dogfight. Yesterday. Great games from 1 p.m. all the way. Like every game was good. Every single game was good yesterday. So maybe I'm wrong about the 7 teams. Maybe 7 teams is a good thing because the year prior, they were all bad. But this year, they were all good games. So, I don't know. I know people are, I see it in the comment at Level 2 News. People are scared of Tannehill 2.0 and another 7-year experiment. Let me address the Tua situation. I don't know what to do with Tua. Here's how I honestly feel about Tua. I honestly feel that the Dolphins need to have a quarterback that is available for the entire year. Because if they do that, I think we win a couple more games this year with a better starting quarterback that's available, not a better quarterback, period. Because I believe, in my heart of hearts, I believe that Tua, when he's playing and he's on, kid is good. Kid's got the goods. He does. He's got the goods. But if he can't be on the field, you can't help you can't help our team. You can't do it. You just can't. And the Lamar Jackson situation is very interesting, but he's not on the field either. So I don't think he's the answer, in my personal opinion. He's got the goods. But the goal here, if we do decide to move on from Tua, it should be for one reason and one reason only: availability. And the best ability is availability. And sir, if you're not available, you're not the person that can lead our franchise to the next level. I need a quarterback that can stay healthy throughout the year and be dependable. You don't have to be, MVP-ish with this offense. You just got to be able to play and put us in position to win games. Imagine if we had Kirk Cousins this year. Do you think our would have been different? What if we had Derek Carr? Do you think it would have been different? What if we had Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady? Do you think we would have been different this year? And I got to be honest with you. I think the answer to that, gentlemen, ladies, is yes. And again, that's no knock on Skylar. Skylar did everything he needed to do yesterday. There were plenty of drop passes to go around by big name, high priced wide receivers yesterday. Skylar should have had another touchdown or two, at least another one, and he should have had over 300 plus yards passing. Can't get mad at what Skylar did yesterday. Even the interception. Bad interceptions. But, we can go to McDaniel on his play calling on the second one. I don't know. I'll say it again before I drop the link. Hit the like button, by the way. 172 y'all in here. Donate to the channel. Help the channel grow. I'm proud of the fight our team put up yesterday. I know there's no moral victories. I get it. And I know that's what a lot of you probably are going to come up here and say. But I'm not going to be 100% upset, though, if I'm honest with myself. If Tua is the guy here next year and Skylar's the backup, because Skylar deserves to keep moving the train along as the backup. There are some people in here, stop with the moral, stop with, being content with mediocrity. I don't think mediocrity happened yesterday. I think the reason that we were 9-8 as a team, I think people are pissed off. I think some of the fan base is just pissed off that it ended the way that it ended and what happened during the season happened. If you really sit and think about it, take a few days to cool off, I truly believe that you'll feel differently. But I think a lot of emotions are still running high the day after a hard-fought loss. Think about it. Third-string, seventh-round rookie quarterback. He didn't play that much different from Brock Purdy yesterday. The biggest difference is Brock Purdy had wide receivers that were catching everything that was coming his way. There were some really good throws yesterday that got dropped. Really. Clock management, horrible yesterday. Couldn't get a play in. We could sit there and say that 4th and 1 and be mad at the play. And we could say, McDaniel could say, oh, well, the head coach, either the coaching staff or a referee allegedly told him that it was first down and it wasn't, and whatever the fuck what the difference was. Who cares? There were plenty of times yesterday where that clock was going to 0 and we had to call timeout a couple times because they couldn't get the play off in time. I think if I'm honest with myself, the only thing that I think I want people arguing with me in the offseason is the quarterback situation. And I can't believe I'm saying that because I was so sick of the quarterback controversy that we had. But I can hear the argument that the best ability is availability. What I don't want to hear is that Tua's a bum, because he's not a bum. He's just not available. And there's a difference. And I don't want to hear that Skylar's not the truth either, because Skylar has gotten better every time he's got out on the field. And we can sell all the shit we want about our defense, but our defense showed up yesterday. We wouldn't have been in that game yesterday if it wasn't for the defense. I will say it again. We would not have been in that game yesterday if it was not for the defense. They played amazing yesterday. Absolutely amazing. You can get mad at them scoring 34 points on us. It's fucking Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs with a depleted secondary. We made a Josh Allen turn the ball over 3 times. One of them was a fumble recovery for a touchdown, cuz. Our defense played amazing yesterday. I'm damn proud of them. Damn proud. It just sucks that we lost. It sucks. But I think we'll look back on this. My hope is that we'll look back on this season and we'll use it as a stepping stone to move forward with where this team is going to go, which is hopefully a Super Bowl run. All right. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Therapy Monday, which means it's yours, the fans, time to call in and get in where you fit in. And I want to hear from you. This is your time. This is a show that is made for a fan, by the fans, for you, all the fans. So I'm going to pin the link to the top of the page and get on. I just dropped the link in the chat. And I want to hear from you. I want to know how you're feeling. I want to know your thoughts about yesterday. I'm bringing on people one at a time. There is no swear jar. If you're in the back, I can carry about 10 people out at a time in the back. So just be patient. I promise I'm going to bring everybody on today. Make sure you donate to the channel. Hit the like button. Only 66 likes. 180 of y'all watching. Hit the like button. All right, let's go to the first person. Let me go to my man Triple S Podcast. Good morning, Triple S.
Oh, what's good, Steven?
I don't know, man. I feel weird, right? I think bittersweet is probably a good word to use about how I feel.
Yeah.
It sucks that we lost. It sucks we're out of the playoffs. It sucks that our season's over. I hate it. I had the thought last night watching that Ravens Bengals game that damn, I got 8 months till the next Dolphins game. That sucks. I hate that.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there. It's definitely weird. Like, there's so many things where I feel one way, but then I think further about it and I feel another way. I think I have an impulse to defend Skylar to a degree
Yep.
because just how toxic 2 and years are, and I've heard some egregious claims about how he played. And to those, I think I might have even went a little too far in the other direction because there is a lot that he missed as well. I mean, the 2 picks were bad on their own. Then there was a couple plays over the middle that he missed. Big plays that we could have had. He did have the drop. So, like I said, it kind of goes both ways where people saying that he was horrible, I wouldn't quite go that far, but he also wasn't.
I don't think he was
like,
horrible.
I wouldn't big him up. I wouldn't potentially say I would big him up because we did put up 31, but 7 of that was the defense. We had a huge punt return, which we only got 3 points off of, which is another thing I wanted to bring up in a second. Like, I really wish Cedric could have just squeezed that and scored because as soon as he got tackled, I had a feeling we were going to get 3 or 0. I just had a feeling we weren't going to get 7 on that drive, and that's a big swing of the game. So you're going to say something now?
Yeah. Look, Buffalo put up 423 total yards to our 231, right? We had 189 passing yards and 42 rushing yards. If you go back to last week, we all got on here. We talked about things that we needed to do to be successful and win this game. And one of the things that we talked about that we needed to do was have a successful run game yesterday, which we did not. And when you're relying on, by the way, a quarterback that before yesterday had never even scratched a 200-yard game, let alone get over 200 yards, right? And had only thrown 1 touchdown his entire career. And you ask him to throw 45 times, you got to understand that there's going to be risk involved with that. And that's what happened yesterday. Skylar Thompson threw the ball 45 times yesterday. He was 18 for 45. Now, we can all sit up here and say at minimum, let's say 8 passes yesterday were just complete drops, just straight drops, right? So that means he would have been 26 for 45 with those drops. In my opinion, he probably would have had another touchdown, right?
Yeah, maybe.
And maybe he doesn't throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down if maybe or 3rd down if maybe that 3rd down gets converted. Whatever the case is, let's say it's 8 more passes that get converted. In my opinion, he probably gets another touchdown in there, or at least is able to have the opportunity for the team to score. I think Skylar, for a 7th round rookie quarterback who had never had much success in the NFL, did amazing yesterday. And for anything to say other than that, in my opinion, is unfair. The 2 interceptions that he had, the first one was horrible, but it's one of those, as a 7th round rookie quarterback, you're like, well, he's probably going to make that stupid mistake. That was a stupid mistake. It was bad, right? No denying that. The second one, I put that on Coach. I put that on McDaniel because that play call never should have happened.
And Steven, let me ask you this, Steven. Would you, because I asked I asked my dad, he's a Dolphins fan. I asked a couple people who are Dolphins fans. Would you say that Skylar or McDaniel in their respective roles performed better yesterday?
I think Skylar played the best game of his career, and I think he deserves every right to be the backup here next year, in my opinion.
Yeah. And to that point, I would say too. I agree with what you said. When you put the qualifier that he's a 7th round rookie, first playoff game, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
I still wouldn't go as far as to say he played amazing. It does.
You know how many Brock Purdy's? You know how many Brock Purdy's are out here in the NFL? Triple S? One. Because it's a rare case, and Skylar, I think. He's good. The kid is good. Yeah. Let him, but playing time is everything, and getting experience is everything.
If you're going to use that qualifier personally, and you're not wrong for saying what you said, but I personally would probably go as far only as saying he played, at a very maximum. I would say very, very good. I wouldn't say amazing, given those qualifiers. if you look at him just as a quarterback, you don't take into account where he was drafted.
Skylar Thompson was not the reason we lost
a
yesterday.
average to below average performance, so I would say. That's just my take.
Skylar was not the reason we lost yesterday.
I agree. I agree. He was a small part of it. He's not exempt from all blame because, like you said, he had the picks. He missed some big plays. I think the main thing that contributed to our downfall yesterday was clock management and coaching. You have 4th and 1. Think about this, Steven. You have 4th and 1. And I remember vividly looking at the play clock and seeing 24 seconds. 24 seconds, it's 4th and 1. Mm-hmm. How long does it take you to decide, actually, let's even go back a play. Let's go to 3rd and 1 when we ran the ball. Mm-hmm. I think we took a long time to get that play in as well. We ran the ball at the middle. We didn't get anything. Fine. If you knew you were going to go for it, which you kind of pretty much did know you had to at that point, I would have maybe passed the ball, consider we struggled so hard to run the ball all game. Mm-hmm. But then you get it to 4th and probably a foot. You have 24 seconds on the fucking play clock. How long does it take you to decide, let's just run a quarterback sneak? Let's do that. That's the simplest thing. You're going to get a foot. And if you don't, I don't think anybody's going to be, too up in arms that you missed it going for a quarterback sneak when you needed a foot. If you don't get that, I don't think you're to blame as the coach.
Look,
but if you waste 24 seconds off the play clock, you don't even get the play in. And if you did get the play in, it was a run up the middle that got stuffed for -3. It was a shotgun handoff. What the fuck are you doing, McDaniel?
McDaniel made a lot of mistakes this season, and he made a lot of mistakes yesterday. And he made some mistakes that cost us the games. Did he make a mistake yesterday that cost us the game? Maybe. It's definitely.
I think that was it. 4th and 1. You have 24 seconds on the play clock, and you take a delay of game. And even if you didn't, the play you called got blown up for -3. Thank God we got another chance of 4th and 6, and we didn't even get that, which was tough.
I think McDaniel's earned the right to coach this team another year, and he's earned the right to learn from his mistakes as a first-year head coach. And we talk about moral victories and how we don't want to say that's a moral victory or anything like that. And that's fine. But we know goodness well that, decisions that Don Shula made his first go around in Baltimore with the Colts, he was not making some of those same decisions his second go around with the Miami Dolphins, right? And so, as you learn as a head coach, you gain experience and you gain knowledge and you learn from your mistakes.
It's just unfortunate that we have to go through those growing pains while
but everybody does like this. Everybody.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying, I'm just making a point that I think it's unfortunate that we have to go through those kind of growing pains in a season where even with a 7th round rookie quarterback, even with all the injuries, we're 3 points off of Buffalo. If we had a coach that doesn't need to go through those growing pains, we don't take 3 delay of games. We can get a play call in on 4th and 1, 24 seconds left. So that's why it hurts. That's why.
To be fair, Triple S, here's a reality of the situation. Okay, I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
McDaniel never should have been the head coach. McDaniel should have been an offensive coordinator with a tenured head coach, because maybe yesterday's game is a little bit different with a tenured head coach, but maybe him as our offensive coordinator, maybe he runs things a little bit differently, right? Maybe he's able to pay attention to certain things and we don't necessarily get that. We don't know, right? We know that McDaniel wasn't being sought after as a head coach position anywhere else except for here.
Yeah.
But he's the guy that we chose. And because we chose him, he deserves good, bad, or indifferent, the right to make mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And so for me, I can only speak for me, he gets the benefit of the doubt, and sir, you get to go to your year 2. But if you make those same mistakes in year 2, don't be surprised if we pull the plug, because you can't make stupid mistakes like that on a regular basis and expect to keep your head coaching job unless your name is Jeff Fisher or Marvin Harrison. Right? Did I say that right?
No, Marvin Lewis.
Marvin Lewis. Unless your name's Jeff Lewis or Marvin Lewis, you can't expect to make those same mistakes over and over again and keep your job for 20 years. It just doesn't work like that in the NFL anymore. So, that's kind of where I'm at. And I know some people are like, Coach Flo with 10, he got 10 wins without Tyreek Hill and blah, 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 blah. McDaniel, look at what McDaniel had to go through this year. And by the way, I don't think this is another failed year. I think this is a stepping stone year. This is a good way to look at a stepping stone. You want to know how Miami does? Next year is going to be it. We
said that
last
about this
20
year though.
I get that.
That was supposed to be this
listen
year.
to me, Triple S. Listen,
we've had those before. After the 10-6 season,
we never had what we had this year, bro. Are you kidding me? We've never gone into a playoff game and played well in the last 20 years.
So Steven, real quick, just go back with me in a time machine to the day after we lost to end the 10-6 Flores season.
Mm-hmm.
We had high hopes for that next season.
We sure did.
And although people that like Flores, and I'm kind of one of them, sometimes depends on what the topic of conversation is. People like to tout that Flores had back-to-back winning seasons. He did, but the second one you count it as a winning season technically, but it's 9-8, and it's a regression from his previous season when we had high hopes. And right now, I can see
we got the same amount of wins this year, but we got to the playoffs, and we went toe to toe with the number 2 seed.
And I'm just scared.
And if that doesn't give you at Triple S, if that doesn't give you, if you think about it, if you sit and breathe and think on it over the next 10 days, I guarantee you in the next 10 days, you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, you know what? All right. I get what happened. It sucks. There's some mistakes that just are infuriating, but man, we look good for the future. Okay. Let's just,
and I'll end it here because I know you got lots of people, but the one thing I'll say to end it off is that what you just said is going to happen. I'm going to do all those things. I'm going to think, okay, the future's bright, but I did the same thing after that 10-6 season and I got burned, and I've been a Dolphins fan for a long time. And I've done that quite a few times, and every single time I've been burned. So for me, I'll probably feel that way a little bit, but at the same time, I need something to change. I need a quarterback who can stay healthy more than 12 games. I need a coach who's not going to take 3 fucking delay of game penalties in a game where you need to do everything right, and we didn't do everything right, and we still almost won. So I just want better. I'm tired of this. We're on the right trajectory next year.
We are.
I just want it to happen. So, and I'll
want results. You want results, and by the way, as a fan, you deserve results. And I think my hope is that comes to fruition next year. And I know we say that. I know we say that line a lot, but this year's just feels a little bit different with me saying that. And I don't know. I'm like, okay, we made the playoffs. We almost won. We didn't get blown out. I like the fact that we didn't get blown out in the playoff game. But all right, Triple S, you're right. I got a lot of people in the back room. I love you, brother. Thank you for coming on. And
one last thing before I go, I saw someone in the comment section. I wish I could still see it, but it went too fast. They called McDaniel Mick Medicinal, so I wanted to shout that person. I can't see who it was though, but I thought that was pretty funny. Hitting that vape.
I'll go back and look for it to see if I can find it. But yeah, all right, brother. Have a good one, Triple S. Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Therapy Monday. It is a show made by the fan for the fans. It is your time to come on. The link is pinned to the top of the page. Make sure you hit the like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow, and make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not already. All right, let's go to our next person. Greg. Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Good morning, Steven.
How are you, brother? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. I woke up.
You woke up and it was a great day. I hear you, man. You woke up. I'm with you on that, my guy. It's another day. In the words of Shake Money, it's another beautiful day in Zamunda.
Hey, and I don't have to stress out about the Dolphins no more. I can just watch good football. But yeah, that was the third time I seen this in the playoffs, and that was surprisingly our best game I seen us play in the playoffs.
It was the best game we played in the playoffs in the last 20 plus years, minus the win in 2000. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be. There's some people that don't want to hear the moral victory shit, but
yeah,
there's a lot to be proud of, Greg, in my opinion.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to next season. Hopefully we don't have this win 3, lose 3, win 5, lose 5, win 1, lose 1 next year. I'm just done with that. But yeah, McDaniel, he made mistakes. Hopefully next year he can correct them, because if he doesn't correct his mistakes, I could see him getting fired next year. Do I want it? No. I don't want to restart, but he's got to correct the mistakes. The play calling was an issue yesterday. I was watching the game. Literally, they'd be at the line of scrimmage with like 5 seconds to go on the play clock, and then they would have to waste a timeout.
Yeah, man, look, it's a problem. And especially when you're in a playoff game, you never know when you're going to need your timeouts. And so that is something that needs and must be cleaned up in the offseason. And I directly put that on the shoulders of Mike McDaniel. And by the way, he deserves that.
So, Steven, I got a question for you. Do you think Josh Boyer saved his job yesterday?
No, because McDaniel wants his guy. And you still gave up 34 points, right? And the Dolphins they've been giving up a lot of points this year. And part of the reason you went on a 5-game losing streak and a 3-game losing streak was the defense, right? And so it's not all on the defense, but some of it goes on the defense. And Boyer, I think, is a part of that.
That
And
3rd and 15 in the beginning of the game, torched.
We got 100%. We were down 17-0 in the first quarter, right? And look, the Dolphins, McDaniel's going to get a second year, right? But McDaniel guaranteed is going to walk in and say Boyer's got to go. In my opinion, I think he'll say Boyer's got to go. I want to bring in my own guy. And I don't see Greer stopping him, because Greer's going to be like, well, if I'm going in with you with this, I might as well go in with you full way. There are plenty of times this year, and I'm wondering if anybody else felt this way too. There were plenty of times this year McDaniel would walk down the sideline, go to Boyer, and say something to the effect of, y'all need to clean this shit up, or y'all need to do better, or y'all, give them the side eye. And so it came off. It came off as they don't work together, that Boyer runs the defense and McDaniel runs the offense, but it's McDaniel's team, right? But if McDaniel doesn't have a say on what goes on the defense, and he's just telling him to clean this shit up, during the sidelines during a game, do you get what I'm saying, Greg? Like, something's not 100% kosher there. It's not cohesive. And looking at what the Dolphins want to do moving forward, I guarantee you, McDaniel at his end of the year review with Stephen Ross and Chris Greer is going to sit down and say, look, you want me to win next year? Let me pick my own defensive coordinator. Let me bring in my own defensive coaches, and I guarantee you we'll get, we'll tighten up. We'll be better. And I mean, that's what I believe will happen personally.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of felt like Boyer deserved to keep his job with how the defense was playing, but you make great points. But I very well could see Boyer getting fired. I mean, am I going to be upset if we fire Boyer? No, but I kind of felt like he deserved to keep his job, but I could be wrong. But we'll see what happens with that. I know you got people in the back. I'm going to get out of here. But, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait for next year.
I know, man. Another 8 months till we get to play football again.
Another 8 months of discussion on what to do.
I know. Another 8 months of wonderful, amazing YouTube content, and I hope you're with me, Greg. Thank you for being here all year, brother. I appreciate your love and support, brother. Be good.
Be good.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. It is Therapy Monday, and it is a show made for the fans by the fans. It's your time to get in and talk about everything. The link is pinned to the top of the page. I'm bringing everybody on one at a time, so if you want to get in line, get in line. Get in where you fit in. All right, let me go next. Rashad, good morning, Rashad. By the way, there's no swear jar today, but bans are in full effect. Just want to remind everybody that. Go ahead, Rashad.
What the fuck is going on, Stephen D?
I know, right? It's no swear jar, bro. You like when there's no swear jar. A lot of people do. What's going on, brother?
I love it. Not much, I'm calming down. A lot of people trying to piss me off. It's working. They're gonna see another side of me in a minute. But I'm enjoying all the bitching and moaning right now, because somehow, some way, once again, this is Tua's fault. After these I don't want to insult nobody anymore. They're complaining that it's Tua's fault because he wasn't available, even though you cried that you didn't want to see Tua out there. You complained you don't want to see the run game. You want Skyler to go out there and throw that thing. He threw that thing too. I give him credit for what he did.
evolved.
Receivers got to play better.
There was definitely evolution in Skylar Thompson's game yesterday. No doubt about it.
I'm definitely down to give him more time. That's all I ask for. That's what I've been saying.
I don't want to see him as the starting quarterback, but
He's clear as day not ready.
But I have no problem with him getting all the reps in preseason next year for the most part, and letting him get be the backup. Honestly, I don't want to spend. I'll tell you what I don't want to do next year, Rashad. I damn sure don't want to spend $10 million on any fucking player at all, because anytime the Miami Dolphins spend $10 million on a player, it goes to fucking shit. And so, I don't want to spend, and especially on a backup fucking quarterback. So, I will be perfectly fine with Skylar Thompson as our backup next year.
I just would love it if we could just stop. Damn, my bad. I would love it if we could just stop the bullshit. Like, we complain and we complain. Get your ass out on the field then. You go do it. Like,
what all right. Well, I mean, forget the Tua situation for a second. What did you think of the game yesterday, man? Tell me your thoughts about the game yesterday.
I think the players showed up despite the coaches, besides Waddle and fucking Jeff Wilson. I think the players showed up. Like, they came to play. Boyer, get the fuck out. Yes, we got 7 sacks. Yes, we forced turnovers. I give all the credit to the players. I still see open Bills players. I still see us getting burnt. It's all over the field. It's just they're not catching the ball. But yet we want to, do we give? No, I'm not giving him shit. No. He horrible play caller. We got burnt on a 0 blitz. What we come back and do? Another 0 blitz. Like, and you're not even 0 blitz. You in a 0 blitz, everybody's in man. There's no linebacker to help. There's no safety. Remember, we got burnt by number 10. I don't even know his
I can
name.
tell you late in the fourth quarter, there was definitely some why aren't we blitzing more? Why aren't we putting more pressure on Josh Allen? But to be fair, I mean, look what our defense did yesterday, though.
They came. Them boys showed up.
But so are you? Are you on the Boyer get rid of Boyer train, or do you think Boyer's? Would you be okay if Boyer stayed another year?
I'm definitely down to get rid of Boyer. 100%. He can go.
Yeah, I think overall that's something that I think a lot of fans are on that train, and I think rightfully so. But to be fair, they had
it's not 100% his fault.
They had a shitload of injuries on defense this year.
It's not 100% his fault. I give him that. I blame him for the play calling in that.
And by the way, that's where I think McDaniel's head is at with Boyer. That's why I think he's going to get canned off from. And by the way, I think it'll be 100% McDaniel's call too.
Right.
I think it'll be 100%. If Boyer stays, it'll be because of McDaniel. I'm almost 100% of that.
I don't understand I don't know what he be thinking on third down. I'm clueless what he thinks. That run by Allen, oh my God.
You're breaking up, Rashad.
Hold on. Wait, let me. All right, can you hear me now?
Yep, sure can.
Yeah, there was a run by Josh Allen on third down, and he got like 18 yards or something like that. Like, you know what he's going to do. Like, we've contained him so far.
Josh Allen, though, only had 4 rushes for 20 yards. And I feel like if you hold Josh Allen to under 50 yards rushing in a game, you're successful. So for the first time all year, they kept a quarterback that can run out of the pocket whenever the fuck he wants, and they contained him for the most part. The quarterback spy worked yesterday for them.
Yeah. The only we finally contained him. We got those 7 sacks. That was beautiful. But honestly, I give all credit to the players. But I also give the players slack. You don't let, I think it was Nyheim Hines, push the pal. Put him down. Don't let him get his offense. It was 3 of us.
Look, I was Unbelievable that those rushes in that last drive there, that they were moving the ball the way that they were moving it. And I'm like, what the fuck, Miami? What's going on? And Miami's usually better than that. So, yeah, I was disappointed in that too. And look, here's the reality of the situation. We can say how good they played. They still gave up over 400 yards of total offense, 400 plus yards of total offense.
Right.
And, that's a lot. That's a fucking lot. So,
You
over
make the
300 yards
excuse.
passing, over 100 yards rushing. They came to play, but it is one of the most potent offenses in the NFL, and that's real. So
That's the excuse right there. That's what I'm expecting everybody to come with. Not saying you're making an excuse.
No,
I'm saying.
By the way,
it's Josh Allen
and
and the Buffalo Bills.
The record. I know that there's some people to the extreme of fuck a moral victory. Screw what anybody's saying about, we played well yesterday, we lost. Or a mediocre team will always be a mediocre team, blah, 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 blah. Okay? That's not fair to the team. We made the fucking playoffs. Did we have the same record as we did last year? Yes, we did. But it was good enough to make the playoffs this year. And we clearly saw yesterday that with a depleted team, we went fucking toe-to-toe with the number 2 team in the AFC. Imagine if we didn't have that. And this is to me, this is fair. Imagine if we didn't have the depletion of injuries that we had on defense, and imagine if we had a healthy quarterback situation in Tua. Yesterday's game would have turned out 10 times different.
Imagine if we didn't have the drops. That's
what I'm saying. There's a million things yesterday, right? Like, we could sit here and say, Boyer. We could sit here and say McDaniel. We could sit here and say Skyler. But the wide receivers who have been, at the focal point of a successful year, did they fucking show up yesterday in all sincereness? I mean, somebody said it was official 11 drops yesterday. That's a lot of drops. And I know 8 of them were in the fucking money. They were in the hands.
And I was Miss Finn said something earlier today. The Dolphins beat themselves. I did not hear that until this morning, and that's the most.
Oh yeah, 100%. The Bills did not beat us yesterday. We beat ourselves. I will 100 stick behind Miss Finn's on that comment. We did not lose to the Buffalo Bills yesterday. The Dolphins, we beat ourselves. And by the way, let me put this caveat to it. It is fair, the Bills played, they put up 400 plus yards of total offense. I get that. That's Josh Allen's going Josh Allen, the Bills offense going Bills offense. But we know damn well they did not play to the best of their ability, and they
it could have been a lot worse. It could have been a lot worse. But it wasn't. We definitely beat ourselves. And I will say there's one thing about Tua. One of my friends, they're not on Twitter, YouTube, and all that. He was like, Tua healthy was a top 5 quarterback. If he can get over those problems and go somewhere else, say with another offensive guru, he could be a problem.
Who? Tua?
Tua.
See, and I disagree with that. Because Tua had no problem being good here. He had a problem staying healthy. And that's where his problem is. So if Tua stays healthy, that's the conversation for Tua, right? And so nobody I can tell you from my end, I'm not questioning his ability to play fucking quarterback. I'm questioning his ability to stay healthy so he can play quarterback for us.
Right.
That's my problem with him.
Yeah, when I say a problem is a good thing. A problem is he can be one of those, or when healthy, for one season, he was a top tier quarterback. Imagine if he stays healthy and this continues. Imagine if he dominates a playbook, or he owns a playbook and he knows and he starts reading coverages and all of that. Like, you got a good point, but I still want the guarantee. But how many of those are out there? Like, let's be realistic, available and out there. Because we seen Brady take a step back. We seen Rodgers take a step back, and Lamar with his knee injury kind of got me questioning. Like
I
now
let me,
everybody's referencing
let me say
RG3.
this before I bring on. I got a whole bunch of people in the back room, and I want to make sure I get to them. Let me say this: as far as the future is concerned with their quarterback situation, Rashad, I don't know where the Dolphins go from here. I really don't. And I understand Adam Schefter yesterday, but whatever they decide to do, in my opinion, I'm going to stick behind the franchise and say if that's the route they want to go, then I'm all for it.
Oh, what 100? Like Noob said something earlier.
And that includes, by the way, that includes with them having the idea to retain Tua. If they believe that retaining Tua is the best thing for this franchise, then I'm going to live with it. But let me tell you, if it happens again, like you got to understand, I need there to be repercussions that if it fails, that everybody's job is on the line. Like you need to have accountability with this. You know, that's kind of what I'm doing. All right. Anything else before I let you go, man?
Yeah. One last thing. Noob said something to me earlier. He was like, if I don't like the complaining or something, join Roach and become a Jags fan or something like that. How about, because we were talking about how players around the league are like talking down on us as not down on us as fans. They're like, damn, like we criticizing the shit out of our own team.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I said, ain't nobody gonna want to play here. It was like, well, go root for another team. Well, if you don't like the players here, shouldn't you go root for another team?
Look, I can tell you right now, as far as I'm concerned, I'll never root for another team. You'll never see me.
I know I won't. I'm just curious.
That's all I know.
But all right.
Anybody else roots for another team, that's on them. But I can tell you ain't never going to see me root for another team.
All right.
So, all right. Love you, brother. Be good. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Let me bring. I want to try to get a lot of people in order. I know I got some people that are family of the show, friends of the show. Just sit tight. I want to make sure I get to everybody, and I want to make sure I have enough time for you and still be respectful of other people's time. So let me bring on Cap for life real quick. Good morning, Cap. How are you?
Hey, good morning, Steven. Yeah, thank you for what you're doing, man. I know it would have been easy just to keep sleeping in today and keep hitting the snooze button.
Let me tell you, I just wanted that anyway. So yesterday, real quick, I'm gonna put you on mute because I'm back from you. My 8-year-old son, from 4 a.m. yesterday up until like the second quarter of the Dolphins game, had thrown up like 8 times, like throw up. So my wife at halftime took our son to like those 24-hour, not an emergency room, but like those 24-hour doctor's offices, whatever.
Urgent care.
Urgent care. That's what it's called. Thank you, Cat for Life. I knew that. So that was my game. Yeah, I'm watching the game yesterday, cleaning up projectile, you know what. And so it was a very fun day yesterday for me. But he's at home today, feeling a lot better. He got medicine. He's definitely feeling better today. So I don't know what happened, but he's feeling better today. But yeah, that's how my day was yesterday, dealing with an 8-year-old throwing up in the frustrating Dolphins.
Yeah, man. If I was little Steven, I'd be throwing up too after hearing all the damn excuses everybody making today, man. At the end of the day, man, this is what's going to happen, bro. The Dolphins are going to do everything they can to keep the organization the same. They're not cleaning house. Stephen Ross has a tendency of not firing people because he's not good at it. He has a tendency to look for other candidates, but he sucks at
Why do you want to clean house, Cap? I don't think that's fair to want to.
No, I'm just saying if it doesn't happen next season, you know damn well the clean house scenario is going to come up to the conversation. Just like you said, there has to be some type of accountability and repercussions.
And by the way, and for people that are saying, well, what about the accountability for this year? I think, in my opinion, we've gotten the accountability for this year. I think that it's fair. I think it's personally that it's fair, you know, for McDaniel to retain his job, move forward, and everybody to retain their job. Minus Boyer. To me, Boyer's the one that goes, and that's.
Well, I mean, look, we all knew this was supposed to be the year. We spent the money that we did. Now we're being force-fed that next year's the year. I hope everybody here sees the pattern that I go with this when I tell you guys that we're pretty much suckers. Like you're gonna end up
But
tailgating next
but
season. You're gonna end up doing the normal stuff like you always do, and you're gonna like it. They're gonna force feed you bullshit, and you're still gonna like it.
We can't hit the reset button every fucking time the team doesn't do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, but the problem is we're in a day and age where you're under a microphone right now. I'm over here on a podcast right now trying to explain the situation because I live down here and nobody wants to hear it. How about everybody starts getting more fucking louder if they really give a shit about making change as opposed to just settling every fucking year for the same bullshit you're going to get fed? If you don't like what I'm saying and everybody doesn't like it, some people might like it or not, but at the end of the day, you know I'm right. You're just going to end up paying more money on top of more money and getting fed the same bullshit. For everybody to come back, you already knew that was happening last week when I told you guys, but nobody wanted to hear it because you wanted a reliable source. Now you have the reliable source, and you're going to love it and deal with it like if it never happened. You're going to love what's going to happen next season because they're going to tell you you're going to love it.
Cap, let me ask you something. Real talk, dude. A, we only made the playoffs for the third time in the last 20 years. B, we made it with a depleted, injury-riddled roster.
Bro, look, don't tell me what I know already. What you just said now, 20 years. What you just said now, 20 years, that's your fault for allowing it for 20 years because you always read the bullshit and you love it.
But all right, so Cap, you're wanting to damn where we're at currently because of the bullshit mistakes that this franchise has made the last 20 years. Nobody's sitting here denying or arguing with you that we should have done things differently the last 20 years. But the correct decision moving forward next year is retaining McDaniel, allowing Chris Greer to make the necessary moves, and the only change that I would personally want to see is on the defensive side. That's it. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you because
look, everybody caught up on the defensive side of things. Don't worry about it because Boyer's going to probably end up going with Flores to Arizona if he gets hired in Arizona. So everybody needs to look for a defensive, a defensive coordinator, contingency plan on that. I agree, but I mean, just to hate on Boyer today after the display we just seen yesterday goes to show you the bias with this organization, knowing that rookie coach is the one that fucked everything up and screwed the pooch. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to say that because he's already entitled a year to come back, just like the quarterback.
Stop. He got you off. He got you off, Cap. He said, next man up, Cap, and stop using Lewis's takes. Man, ruthless up here. Ruthless aggression. All right, let me bring in. Actually, here's what I'm gonna do because I got a lot of people. Let me bring up a couple of co-hosts up in here. Let them say their spiel, and then I'll bring other people up one at a time. Let me bring in my brother from another mother, Cameron 954, Mr. Jason Sarney. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Steven.
Morning, guys.
What's up, Jason? How are you?
I'm all right, Cam. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. We got a long line in the back room, so I want to allow you guys to say your takes, and then I can start bringing people up. Cameron, you go first. Tell me your thoughts about yesterday.
Man, we're the most insufferable fucking fan base that I've ever heard in my life.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. We lost, but if you step back and look at where we were going into the preseason, what Greer did to put this team together, hiring a rookie coach, the start that this team had, then going through all the issues, the concussions to our QB1, the injuries to our offensive line, their defensive secondary. And I'm not making excuses, but it is what it is. Like, you got to step back and understand, like, we're playing with the cards that we have in our hand. And it's not like, I love Cap, man. And number one, Cap, you're a sellout because you never showed up yesterday. And number two, if you don't like this team, and you don't want to embrace this team and support what's going on with this team, then go root for somebody else because, sitting up here and constantly bitching about everything they do and not seeing any positives in the whole landscape of the big picture really it's shallow. And I don't get it.
Oh,
and
man,
a lot of others.
Podcast said, let Cap for life cook. Cap, if you come back on, we'll bring you back on, man.
Yeah,
Triple S said, let him cook.
His opinion, but I don't listen, and I'm entitled not to agree with it. And I'm a glass half full type of guy, you know that. But yesterday's game showed me two things, right? For all the fuck ups that McDaniel had with the time management, and it wasn't McDaniel. Like, so much as it was. You got a 7th round rookie quarterback in a playoff atmosphere against a Super Bowl contender. There's a lot of pressure and there's communication issues are going to happen regardless. I mean, the same thing happened to the Bills. They had one time where they had to use a timeout and 2 other times they had false starts. That's communication issues. That shit happens, right? The shit at the end with McDaniel, and if you listen to his press conference saying that he thought that the referees told him that it was a first down, that's still on him, but it's a viable excuse, but it's still on him. He should have had the play ready and read, right?
All right.
But
Hold on.
I'm not done. I'm not done here. Because I got a lot to say. I just got out of the gym.
Cap's in the back. I want to let him come back on with you.
Well, no, he's not coming back on me right now. Like I got to listen to his crap. He's going to listen to mine. I was just with Kim Bocamper, and he said, and verbatim, he told me everything is on the table. Like it's going to be a drama-filled offseason. You watch. But things that you think are on the table aren't going to be on the table, and things that you don't think are going to be on the table may just very well happen. And that's exactly what he said to me. But getting back to the game yesterday, man, you got to give credit to McDaniel for putting together a game plan, keeping this team in at least a position. The most important thing for me, this team showed is that they played for their coach, right? They played for Boyer. They played for McDaniel. They played hard. Teron Armstead didn't have to play. He could have sat out. He could have pulled a Byron Jones. Waddle has hurt his shoulder. Wilson hurt his calf. They didn't have to come back in the game, but they wanted to come back in because they knew they wanted to play for their coach and win, right? And the last 4 games, Boyer has played, his defense has played really well. And I said this in Twitter, like he gave the Dolphins offense 3 chances to beat the Bills this year. Once they beat them, and 2 other times the defense gave them chances to win. Without the defense scoring a touchdown, having 7 sacks and 2 interceptions yesterday, Skyler wasn't going to have to do the job because he clearly didn't. He showed he wasn't up to the task just on his own. So you got to take the whole big picture into account. Is it a successful season for me? Yes. Is it as successful as we wanted it to be? No. But it was progress. We to your point, we made the playoffs 3rd time in the past 20 years. We have a rookie head coach. We have a team full of talented players that are playing for their head coach. And like it or not, if something big doesn't happen, the QB2 is our quarterback for next year, and Skyler's not the answer. That was clear. Is Skyler worth grooming and investing more time in? Absolutely. But he showed he wasn't ready for the big stage yesterday.
I'm gonna let Cap for Life come on and rebuttal. Cap, go ahead.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want about McDumbass. At the end of the day, that 4th quarter, if you want to say he put us in that situation to win, I can say the same thing about Boyer. But at the end of the day, like I said, if he ends up leaving with Flores, it is what it is. We still need to find a DC. I get that. But you can't say that this game was predicated on McGenius being a genius in the 4th quarter, because that was not the case whatsoever. Now, if you also want to say you're okay with everybody coming back, like I said, that's the definition of your insanity and mine, because we're going to like it and we're going to get force-fed it down our throat.
Yeah, I didn't say everybody.
No, hold on. I keep getting cut off here every time I mention doing stuff about tailgating and you guys, all this stuff about corporate ass kissing, then I get cut off. At the end of the day, you can do that corporate ass kissing all you want. At the end of the day, we know what's going on. We see this shit. We get force-fed it. Like Steven says, 20 years of the same bullshit with different front offices, 5 different regimes, and you're still putting force-feed me bullshit about a quarterback who's supposed to be elite, but is still in concussion protocol as we speak. So, man, look, we cannot be scared of going looking for another quarterback. We cannot be scared to vamp up the offensive line, because you know it's going to happen with these 6 draft picks we have. But at the end of the day, bro, don't fucking force feed me bullshit, piss on my leg and tell me it's raining when you know damn well we got into this because of the defense, not the offense.
I'm not disagreeing with you. If it weren't for the defense, we'd been fucking beat by 30.
Yeah, but we want to use Boyer as a beating drum right now because we don't want to pick on McGenius, and McDumbass is the one that cost the game.
Boyer's going to be back next year.
I don't think he should be. I disagree with Cameron on 2 points. I disagree with the Boyer situation, as I just stated, and I also disagree that I think Skyler did enough to be the backup next year.
I said
Yeah, but nobody. Hey, but you saw the defense do good and the backup quarterback do good in a pressure situation. But we want to get rid of them. But we want to keep the guy who's in concussion protocol. You want to get rid of Boyer. You want to get rid of Skyler. The guys who balled yesterday when everybody said they were going to get their ass handed to them. All you guys kept saying we're going to get blown out. We made that game competitive, and we did it with without a guy who's in concussion protocol. Mind you.
Cap, let's get something straight. Number one, that is the first time.
Rats off the shit. Oh, we're going to get blown out.
That is the first time the entire year I've seen the defense multiple times, not just one or two, multiple times consistently for the 4 quarters play hard-nosed grind football. 7 sacks yesterday.
We're backup players, bro.
Recovery, interceptions. They look good across the board.
Steven, I'm more
gave up 34 points. They still
McGenius overthought it, bro. Let's just be real. McGenius overthought it, bro. Being bipolar, he overthought
it. Boyer is not McDaniel's guy, in my opinion.
No, we know that. He's going to be the scapegoat, just like freaking Crossman is going to be the scapegoat too.
What did they average? What was their? They're one of the last. They're in last place for defenses this year, and almost.
Bro, we're talking about the playoffs. Is a different season. Playoffs is 0-0. Don't look at the past regular season.
You do realize that 31 points would have been good enough to be almost every good enough to win every other.
You realize that 2 interceptions, a forced fumble for a touchdown, and 7 sacks is also winnable? My man, come on, don't do this, bro. You want to come at me? You come at me with a machine gun, not with a BB gun.
How about Skylar Thompson putting us in the hole with 2 interceptions that were stupid and giving them 10-point, jump?
That's on McDumbass, bro.
How's that on McDumbass? He made the wrong reads. He made the wrong plays.
Who the hell goes from the 30 on 3rd and 19, bro?
The second interception was a bad play call on McDaniel, but it still needed to be executed. And in a veteran quarterback, by the way,
you got 11 drop passes. You're going to blame Skyler for that too?
Bro, look, Skyler was put in a
No. You're going to blame Skyler for those 11 drop passes?
No,
11.
The wide receivers.
Oh, okay. So Waddle's not getting no heat today either, right? All the Alabama boys get a free pass, right?
Deserves to get heat today.
All the Alabama boys get a free pass, right?
Nope. You
got 2 out here making kids cry online, bro.
If you go back and listen to the beginning of my show, I clearly said it was a multitude of things yesterday. Wasn't anyone the reason. But we can sit here and we can go blame McDaniel. We can go blame Skyler. We can go blame Tua. We can go blame, the defense for allowing 34 points and 300+ yards passing.
And you guys won't, because you're going to be eating it up next season doing tailgaters and all that bullshit, bro. You're not going to say a damn thing. You're going to like what you get, and you're going to get force-fed like you have been for the past 20 years.
And I told you when you were on earlier, I said it's bullshit. That's a bullshit take.
Yeah, bullshit you're going to eat.
All right, but
you're going to eat the bullshit because they're going to force feed it to you.
Cap, let me tell you why it's a bullshit take. I love you, brother. I do.
Well, I love you too, man. You have your opinion, I have mine. And so far, my opinion has been dead on point, bro.
But listen, Cap, do you? Let me ask you a couple questions.
You don't want to hear shit about conspiracy theories. You don't want to hear shit about a fragile glass quarterback.
Cap, does McDaniel deserve to be fired?
Bro, after today, let me tell you something, bro. If you can fire Denver's coach after 1 season,
yes or no, does he deserve to be fired?
What I want and what's going to happen is 2 completely different things. That man ain't going nowhere.
Your opinion. Do you believe?
No, my opinion, bro. Look, if you got hardball out there, you go get hardball. Real simple. But we're making simple difficult right now because you want to have a pet project for the next 3 years.
Stayed up.
I'm answering the question. You just don't like my answer.
You're saying if there's 1 or 2 other people out there that might be available, long shot.
Well, let me think about this. You got a Super Bowl coach out there who wants to come here, but Stephen Ross is forced to keep McDumbass. Let me think about that.
Listen, you're not listening. That's the fucking decision that they should have made last offseason. And I was the number 1 person in the community saying they need to go out and get a former head coach, somebody with experience. I wanted fucking Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson would have been.
Yeah, look how that worked out. Look how that worked out.
Jacksonville. Now, I also
look how that worked out. An ex-Dolphin, but yet you want a project. You want a pet project.
Cap, I said, if you're gonna fucking make your bed with McDaniel, then you cannot do a fucking one and done unless they just completely shit the bed.
Man,
And
why
they
Sonny
did-
look like he got
they
two
did
parents
not-
arguing, bro? Sonny, get out the
They
corner,
made
bro.
the playoffs and went toe to toe with the number 2 seed in the AFC.
Give me your 2 cents, Sonny. I need to know, bro. You look like a kid in timeout, man. Come on, wake up.
Carney's just waiting.
Bro, I'm waiting for the cue. I just signed on here. I'm waiting for my little take here. But
Come on,
yeah,
man. You're better than that. Get on point. You had your coffee. I know you did.
Hold on, let me just say this before I
Don't
give me that constipated look, bro.
Hold on, Sonny, 1 second.
Bro,
Cap,
Cap,
let me just say-
relax.
Hold on, Cap. Hold on, Sonny. Give me 1 second. Cap,
Now,
I'm going to say this last thing.
oh boy.
You want me? It comes off. I'm not saying this is what you're saying. It comes off that you want me to blame the Miami Dolphins for the last 20 years of bullshit mistakes with this regime. And
You
that's
won't blame McDumbass. You won't blame Tua. You won't blame
that's
the.
not fair to this regime. They deserved based on yesterday's game.
They also deserve to hear it the offseason as well.
Okay, and we can do that. We can do that collectively as a fan base.
So that's fair, right? That's fair, right?
Yes. But
I'm gonna
Okay,
make
so
that
what's the
happen.
difference
I
from what
have
I'm saying?
I have an idea here. I'm going to jump in. Now I'm going to jump in because I'm going to preface this, Cap. A lot of work needs to be done when analyzing the full lifeblood of this season.
A lot of work needs to be done on a
Let me
team that was
finish.
ready to
Let me
win now.
finish.
How does
Now,
that work?
If you're going to want me to go, let me do me a favor. If you're going to let us go,
let him cook.
I'm
Cap.
going to literally ask Steven like it's freaking seven-year-old basketball practice, put them in timeout or mute you. Let me roll for 30 seconds, and then I'll bring you back
Let
on for your
Jason
comment.
Stern cook.
All
Cap.
right? I'm going to be the first one to tell you that when watching the game back and when really analyzing, there were a lot of mistakes. But at the same time, there's a lot to be proud of, but we can put the moral victory crap aside for a second. Did I love the way that McDaniel handled the full lifeblood of the game? No. There were mistakes. Why are there communication issues on the playoffs? In another game, there was helmet communications at home a couple of weeks ago, last week. Why was the situation where the only person in the building to not know it was a certain down in yardage was your head coach and the staff? You know, things were odd to me. Do I want him fired? No. Let me also say, was he my absolute first choice last year at this time? No. Do I think he deserves an opportunity to go out and interview for a new defensive coordinator? Let's say I'd hope so. Because decent things sprinkled throughout here and there from Josh Boyer. The lifeblood of his tenure by himself has been bad, has been poor, especially on third and mediums and third and long. Josh Allen rushes for a first down. You're giving up 3rd and 15 to 4th and 5th string wide receivers at the wrong time. So I want McDaniel. He's got a year to me to let's see how he builds on this. He needs to learn clock maintenance. I want him to fix up the communication from his staff upstairs. I want him to hire a better person to say throw the flag or not throw the flag. 1 for 5 ain't cutting it on a year. So, Cap, I'm well aware of all the issues, but I'm not in panic mode, and I don't want you to be. And if you have a specific...
I'm not in panic mode either. I'm just saying the reality of Tua having those numbers again next year. Wait, hold on, Steve. You keep cutting me off, bro. Let me get my 10 because you give everybody 15 minutes, but you quick to cut me off all the time. Chill, relax.
I'm done let you cook, boy. You better stop. You better stop with that madness. I done let you cook this whole morning. All I said was it comes across that way. That's all I was saying. Go ahead.
Look. At the end of the day, look, and then you start talking, then I forget my point here. But at the end of the day, look, it's real simple.
That's not mine.
It's real simple. It's real simple at the end of the day. It's real simple at the end of the day, guys. You're going to have everybody come back. You're going to like it, even if you don't like it or not. It's going to happen. And then we're going to keep bitching about the same thing all the time and regurgitating the same bullshit because that's how they're going to get you, bro. Let's simple.
Let's look at it from this perspective. There's already wheels being turned on coaches talking on other teams' openings potentially. So there's going to be turnover. One way or the other, there will be coaching turnover. McDaniel now has an opportunity to go out and interview and attract not just coaches but players and say, all right, here's what we did. Here's what we want to do. You want to be a part of it. Now, I think that he's proven to be a player's coach, albeit he has things to learn, but I don't think we're in, all right, everyone's going to be back at scapegoat mode. No, I do think Boyer is going to go because someone made the point that he might follow Flores, which would make complete sense and I think works. And I think a fresh start for everybody would be just what the doctor ordered. So if I hear that there's a new defensive coordinator going in, I would love it to be a situation like this. The Dolphins are probably going to give a list to McDaniel. I don't know if McDaniel has that tenure.
See, I disagree, Jason.
You think me? But I hope that McDaniel says, you know what? I got this. I got my list. But I hope the Dolphins don't strong arm and be like, all right, here's the list of 2 names. You know what I mean? I hope that's not the case. But
my personal opinion, Jason, is I believe that Greer during their, I guarantee you at the beginning, I told you what happened last year, Jason. I said when they brought him on, they said, this is your job, but you're going to retain the defensive staff.
Yeah, you got to use Tua. You got to use the defense, you got to use the O-line, and you got to use Tua. That's force feeding, bro.
Out this year, I want to be able to bring in my own guys the following year.
Hey, listen, and losing Patrick Surtain tells you 2 things. Number one, it's devastating to me. He's the one who found Kahoo and pretty much solidified that defensive secondary with a bunch of rookies. But it also paints a little picture of the offseason. Maybe he jumped ship knowing there's big changes coming.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Ain't no way how you're going to get those numbers again. Tua throwing those numbers, the O-line doing what they did, all this stuff with Tyreek and Waddle not getting injured, all this shit is not going to happen next season. The odds of everybody being healthy and those numbers happening again is going to be 1,000,000 to 1, bro.
Being healthy? You mean everybody being hurt? Are you kidding me?
Bro, Waddle and Tyreek had the whole season without injury. You think that's going to happen again? And those numbers again with Tua? Hell no.
The top 3 quarters were out, minus X, who played hurt without a couple
the odds games. Of it, the real odds are, do you expect the injuries to happen the way they happened this year? I want to say I saw a stat this year. Kansas City, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen. Kansas City had a buttload of injuries the year after they went to the Super Bowl, right? And the year before they went to the Super Bowl, they had almost no injuries the year their Super Bowl run, they had almost no injuries. So and I think I remember them saying something to the effect of teams that have a buttload of injuries the next year, the stats, the odds are with them that they'll have a healthy year the following year.
It's funny because the buttload of injuries happen on the defensive front that Boyer fixed.
I just remember somebody saying that watching.
All the injuries happen on the defensive front that Boyer fixed.
Is there anything else you'd like to say? I got a buttload of people in the back. And you over here.
Yeah, man. Hey, stop being sheep. And if you really want to make change, start making your voice more louder, bro. Because you guys right here are just corporate corrupted right now.
We're corporate.
How am I being a corporate guy when if I'm making a decision, the first thing I'm doing on this week's meeting?
Shawnee, worrying about making a column without putting people to sleep. I love you. Bye.
Cap, you a punk, man. Show up to a tailgate for one time.
Cap. If you're going to insult someone, don't leave and slam the door before I get a chance to put my foot in the middle of it before I put it up. You know what? All right, please.
Tell him,
look here, guy. Look here, Cap.
Please, Cap. Don't drop.
From now on, Cap is referred to as miserable for life through the whole offseason.
He is no longer Cap for life. He is now miserable for life.
Yes.
Okay, I like that. I can live with that. You, sir, are now deemed as miserable for life. And you made Jason mad, miserable.
That's hard to do. You know how difficult that is to do?
By the way, I just want to state for the record, I didn't kick him off. I just said we got to get to other people.
No, he did the old insult and door slam like most big, bold people do.
He's banned. But so going back to Surtain and Boyer, he's banned in my ears.
Okay. All right, hold on. Let me bring on other people real quick so we can get other people.
Spike, it's like you could insult me, but don't insult my column, man. Say what you want about me. Say what you want about my children, but don't you dare talk about my writing.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers. It is Therapy Monday, and it has been crazy.
Organization and say how
did you expect it to be anything else?
No, I didn't. I even told my wife, I was like, man, it's going to be crazy this morning. People are going to be absolutely insane. All right, let me bring in one of my best friends in the world. Love this man, Mr. Ryan Keeling. Good morning, Ryan.
What's good?
And just so everybody knows, I am not playing favorites here. Ryan is literally one of my best friends, and he's waited in the back for almost an hour this morning in the back room. I don't play favorites. I try to bring you all on as you come on and in the order that you're in.
Hey man,
Ryan,
and it's therapy Monday, and I need some physical therapy.
yeah. So real quick, you want to tell people what happened yesterday? So I get a picture yesterday of a kneecap and ice on a kneecap. What happened yesterday, Ryan?
It wasn't my knee. So Eric Rose strips that fumble. So it has that strip sack. Zach Sealer picks it up, gets in the end zone. I sprint from one side of the bar to the other and jump up on a chest bump and tear my calf muscle.
Oh,
you tore your calf muscle?
Yep, I have a partial tear in my calf muscle. I'm on rest order for minimum 2 weeks to heal.
Holy shit, bro! Are you kidding me?
Not kidding, man.
It's
still wrapped up. It's still wrapped up and everything. I went to the ER last night to get it looked at.
Bro,
that's
wild. He's texted me last night. He's like, "Yeah,
now I'm really,
about to go to the emergency room." I was like, let me know how it goes. Never got anything back, and I'm waiting to hear from you last night. I'm like, I guess he was okay. No,
hey man, those muscle relaxers, man, they make you not think straight anymore.
Red, White, and Bill said, "Dude, you took 2 L's yesterday, one damn day. Damn."
I did. I don't count the game as an L though.
No,
that was damn near our practice squad.
The floor is yours. Go ahead.
That was damn near our practice squad on the field yesterday. Took it within 3 to the preseason Super Bowl favorite. Think they're the world beaters. Could barely handle our practice squad. So I don't take that as an L.
If I were Bills fan, I'd be kind of upset, man.
I'd be nervous as hell because Cincinnati's about to wax that ass.
I 100% agree.
There was a moment in the game where it's like I feel like every Dolphin fan wanted to be at that moment.
Thank you, Red, White, and Bills.
And then there was at the same time Bills fans were as nervous as they could possibly be for what could be. I think that was this Zach Sealer touchdown. So
yeah, the first half of the third quarter.
Yeah,
you're right.
Dolphins out here injuring the fan base. Yo, y'all are crazy right now. The chat is fire.
Wow.
Oh my god. Go ahead. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. I'm just reading the chat. I'm very entertained by the chat right now with these about Ryan.
Some of this is good stuff.
What is it called? You partially tore your calf muscle? Oh.
Yeah. Yep, partial tear. Apparently your calf muscle is actually 3 different muscles. And I partially tore one of them.
You learned a lot about the body yesterday, Ryan, is what you're telling me.
Sure did.
All right, so what did you think about the game as far as like quarterback or coaching or just like that?
All right. So with Skyler, I'm going to start with Skyler. I noticed something yesterday and I know TD has been running his mouth accusing Tua of this all season. That man locks on to one receiver, and he doesn't look at the rest of the field. That's what Skyler's doing. He on both of his interceptions and on that 4th and 6 incompletion, Tyreek was wide open, streaking across the middle, could have gone for long touchdowns all 3 times. He never looked left.
Correct.
And like that's you Steven, you said that if those 6, 8, 11, however many drops there were, if those drops would have been cut in half, you say he would have had at least one more touchdown. He had 3 touchdowns right there that he didn't even look at. So I don't care about the drops in that regard. He had the opportunities to get those touchdowns and win that game, but he doesn't have it in him. I'm not saying he can't.
Isn't it fair to say though? Hey, look, it's a quarterback that it was his 2nd career start, or was it a 3rd career start? I think it was his 3rd career start.
His 3rd.
Yeah, but okay, excuse me. He got to play 1 snap of it, or whatever it was.
No, he played almost the whole first half against Minnesota.
Okay, whatever the case is, he had thrown only 1 other touchdown his entire career before that, right? And there's. To me, he played the best game of his career, and he improved upon that. And he showed me why you are not ready to take over this team, but you have damn sure earned a spot on this team next year. And I think you should be the backup moving forward.
I don't disagree with that assessment, just because he did show progression, he did show growth, but that's something that he's going to have to get a.
To me, it's tremendous. It's not small.
Sorry, they're showing the
playoff
fumble.
game?
They're showing the fumble return on TV, and it made my leg act up a little bit.
All right, what about McDaniel?
I mean, McDaniel's got to get better at clock management. He's been having issues with it all season. It wasn't just yesterday. I don't care who it was that told him it was a first down before fourth down. If you got the wrong information and you sent some people in, you sent a personnel package in, and then you find out it's 4th and 1, 4th and inches, whatever. Instead, it's too late, man. You gotta get a play with the personnel that are in there. That was a bad decision on his part, and he's just not been good at clock management. I mean, there were easily 5 to 10 delay of game penalties that probably should have been called yesterday on Miami that they got away with.
And I was thinking,
so
to myself,
and it wasn't just yesterday.
You're right, Ryan. I was thinking to myself, I'm watching Skylar look at his QB wrist, and I'm like, all right, is it the communication of the plays? Is Skylar not knowing the plays and communicating to people who don't know the plays? Is there explanations going on? Is the cadence all messed up? Like, what is the issues?
I got you, flip side.
In simple A to B communication. So if that can be adjusted, I mean, look, if we were able to run a 4th and 1 play, I mean, first down, we might be talking Victory Monday instead of Therapy Monday. It's not that lone play, but it's so big to the huge A to B to C to D of a game to be on the same page clockwise, and they were not.
Look, I'm gonna throw out 2 sets of numbers to y'all, and these 2 sets of numbers are the reason we lost this game. Aside from everything else, aside from some questionable officiating calls that people are complaining about on social media, explain to me where Wilkins did anything to draw the offsetting penalty on that. Aside from all that, aside from the drops,
he did. Allen baited him. I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because Allen baited
Bro,
him.
don't get me started on that.
Wilkins,
I'm so pissed off about that fucking
sorry,
play call.
10 seconds on this. Wilkins, every bit of his strength was keeping himself from doing anything horrible. He was just being like, yo, bro. And then
he was blocking. He was just blocking.
By the way, he was holding back on his fucking blocking.
Right.
Yeah, he could have pancaked his ass.
The quarterback and held the fuck back, and for that to be offsetting penalties is such bullshit.
Horrible.
But I'm about to tell you why it being an offsetting penalty doesn't matter. So 31 points yesterday. 20 points of that game, and this is something that Kyle Krabs put out on Locked On Dolphins Twitter feed yesterday evening. 20 points of yesterday's game. Yeah, that's 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals on these 20 points. 1 touchdown was the fumble recovery. The other touchdown and the 2 field goals were drives of 18 yards, 18 yards, and 8 yards. If you can drive for 18, 18, and 8 for scoring drives, and you're not putting up 21 points on 3 drives like that, you're not going to win a game, especially against a team like Buffalo.
You're not going to win a playoff.
You're not winning a playoff game like that. So, and that's
you
why
can win a regular season game like that, but you're not going to win a playoff game like that.
That's why tacking another 15 on that probably wouldn't have made a difference because they showed that they were struggling to get all that. The second set, hold on, the second set of numbers, real quick. 20 carries for 42 yards. You go into a game with a third-string rookie quarterback that has demonstrated in his previous game action that he is not that competent with reading the field, getting passes down the field accurately. You have to have a running game. If you are getting 2 yards a carry, I don't care that Raheem Mostert is out. If you're getting 2 yards a carry, you're not cutting it. Those are the 2 reasons. I can throw a third one in, but
I thought Kalen Ballage was back in the backfield again yesterday.
Seriously.
Hey, Keelan, so how much of that weighs on the fact that Teron Armstead is playing on 1 foot and the right guard was signed off the practice squad 2 days ago to start, and they didn't even run the ball left.
Right.
I mean, that a lot could weigh in on that, but at the same time, McDaniel was hired as the running game guru genius. Like the running game was supposed to be his bread and butter. The running game has been absent all year, and then it finally sort of starts coming together a little bit towards the end of the season here and there, and then it's just shit for the playoffs, for the one playoff game.
This is what I was on.
No,
the
they
show
didn't.
Friday with you
they
guys.
didn't run the ball enough. I made a drinking game rule. Drink every time they throw the ball on 3rd and short. I would have been drunk if I
I
didn't
just
tear my
wanna
calf.
know.
Hammered after the first quarter.
You're lying.
I stopped drinking after my injury, but
Kaylee, what McDaniel essentially said, this game plan of having Skylar Thompson, a rookie 7th-round quarterback, third stringer on the road against Buffalo, a Super Bowl contender, sure, throw 40 times. There was
Right?
no – I was on the show ranting and raving Friday saying I wanted them to run. There was a couple little sprinkles of creativity. I enjoyed
I wanted
it.
to see 30 to 35 runs.
Thank you. That's exactly what I wanted.
I wanted to
Because
at least, yeah.
if you were able to, timely set up the pass with these runs that they didn't do, it might have made Skylar's life easier. I wanted him to throw a maximum of like 25 passes. I don't care if he went like 17 of 25 for 190, but they won and they ran 30 times. That's what I was really wanting. And then when you're down and when you kind of have to abandon the running game, there's no juice on the offensive. There's no want to push. There's no momentum going. I really, really wanted them and thought that there would be a little bit of that. All right, let's just ground and pound, see how that goes.
Right.
They didn't even try it.
And we said that Friday. We said that Friday, Jason. Like Bill Belichick and Mac Jones showed the blueprint last year against the Bills, right?
Why not?
And we ran for 187 yards against the Bills in the second game of the season, the second matchup of the season. So why did we get away from the run? And I said if McDaniels could swallow his pride a little bit and commit to the run instead of trying to look like Boy Genius throwing downfield all the time.
Well, and let's look at who is running the ball too. Like Jeff Wilson, he's a short down back. He's not a one. He's a short down back.
He's right. He's not a one, but he does have the ability to get 4 yards to carry.
But he wasn't getting 4 yards of carry. But who was yesterday was Savon Ahmed, and they weren't running the ball with him.
He would have been.
I mean, that man busted a third. What was that? Second and 19? They threw a screen to Savon Ahmed, and he bulldozed up the field for 22.
Best screen of the season. It was the
best screen the last 5 seasons.
I'll give you that easily. It's the only time they actually ran a screen where number one, it worked, and number two,
Jason, how many times on Friday did we talk about? How many times did we talk on Friday about jet sweeps? And how many did they fucking run yesterday?
One. Did they run 2?
That was
2. One to Wilson and one to Hill.
3 exotics. And when I say trick play, I mean something that's not a dive.
Right.
Something that's not a toss. Something that's like,
we were like, we want to win. We want to be creative. We need to run. All right.
That play to Waddle was a touchdown.
I don't know what you're
talking
about.
It was a touchdown. They wanted to challenge it. That reverse or whatever you want to call it to Waddle where he dove in was a touchdown. They ended up saving the challenge flag, saving the timeout, whatever, and they handed off to Wilson. But that is what I wanted to see more of. You know what? Skylar Thompson could have kept the ball and ran 3 times. One, I'm thinking the first quarter, one in the third quarter, one in the fourth quarter. I'm not
Jose, that's what we're saying. We said on Friday, we didn't care if it was a traditional run game.
Yeah.
Fucking run, jet sweeps and different plays.
Well,
and they
run some more reverses, end arounds.
Have Alex.
Yeah, I get where our struggles were. We weren't
have
to run traditional style runs.
Throw some wildcat in there. You've got Wilson and
Fucking
Ahmed.
Jason
They may not be. They may not be Ronnie and Ricky.
Yesterday.
Yeah, they may not be Ronnie and Ricky, but they're not. They're not, terrible. They could have done some stuff with that.
And look, I know people are like, "Oh my god," but look at all the drop passes. Look at
the missed wide open receivers instead.
Please correct me. Is we asked our 3rd string 7th round rookie quarterback to carry us in this game, and that was not fair to him because he's not ready for that yet.
No, we needed to live and die with the defense and the running game yesterday, and we died on the running game.
Yeah.
All right, Ryan, anything else before I let you go?
Yeah, the coaching thing.
Yes, go.
Josh Boyer's got to go.
Got to go.
100%. And it doesn't come down to how they played yesterday. The players played amazing yesterday in spite of being put in awful positions to make plays from time to time. I mean, those 0 blitzes, I don't know what the hell he was thinking, keep calling those. Stephon Diggs had over 100 yards on 5 catches against the blitz yesterday. Like that, you can't run zero blitzes
Say
when
that
you've shown
one more
all
time.
season your
Stefan had
secondary
what?
can't defend
Say
it.
that one
He
more
had,
time.
he had 5 catches for 105 yards against the blitz yesterday.
How about Gabe Davis too?
He
Gabe
had
Davis
he had 7 total catches for like 130 something
You know who
yards the
Gabe
whole game.
Davis reminded
5
me
for
of?
105 against the blitz.
He
But
reminded me of old school Cole Beasley yesterday. That's who
kind
Gabe
of
Davis reminded me of.
like the
And-
philosophy yesterday, Keely, was bend don't break, right?
Yeah, and there was a stat that was shared going into the game on the weekend that said that Josh Allen is the worst quarterback in the league against the blitz this year, except when he was going against the blitz against Miami. He was the best quarterback against the blitz. The only blitz he's been able to beat all year is our blitz because we don't have a secondary that's healthy enough to be able to cover to let the blitz get to him.
Let me also state this for the
But
record.
more importantly, Josh Boyer doesn't need to be the first coach fired.
Danny
Crossman needs to be the first coach fired.
Oh, special teams.
Yep.
And nobody's talking about this, but he's been here since 2019. The only year that we didn't have a bottom 10 special teams ranking was Jason Sanders' 1 year of being a good kicker. The other 3 years that he's been our special teams coordinator, we've been in the bottom 10 in the league. We've had 0 return games the entire time here.
Putting facts out with these numbers, cuz where you at, Ryan, every morning?
Rizzy was a terrific special.
I'm usually working, but I'm on bed rest, so I have time to do this.
Thank Zach Steele.
I thanked him on Twitter. I'm waiting for him to say you're welcome.
Maybe he can give you the ball, the touchdown ball.
He gave it to his wife.
I know. I'm kidding.
Maybe she'll give it to me.
Give it to
Hey.
But, let me tell you this: the defense, and I wanted to get this point about. But Ryan, I want to hear your opinion on it. Last year, 2 years ago, the strength of the defense was secondary. But now it is clearly not. It is the front four. They should change philosophy, which means none of the zero blitz stuff, none of this strong, defensive back-minded. You need to get someone in here who's like, I'm an old school 4-3 kind of guy. Give me 4.
I don't even think you need that. I think you just need your defensive coordinator to be able to adapt, change. Like your defense is built on the secondary being impeccable, and then you lose the majority of your secondary to injuries. Change the defense.
Correct.
Stop trying to run the same thing.
Make the front 4, the front 7 extended, however that rotation is, edge, outside linebacker, defensive end, whatever have you. Front 7, extremely more important than the back 5, back 4. You know what I'm saying? So get that philosophy flipped, turn us into an absolute pass rushing experience.
Well, now you have to, because you just spent all that money and draft capital on Bradley Chubb. Now you have to change it.
Fun stat that I tweeted for Jalen Phillips. He started his career 15.5 sacks, third highest first 2-year total in Miami Dolphin history for starting your career with a Dolphin. Cam Wake, Brian Cox. So he's number 3 in his first 2 years in sacks. So keep it going. Get him a tag team partner in a draft, maybe. I don't know if I was.
Damn, that puts him above JT, huh?
JT was 1.5 behind him, 14.
Remember, look at that. He's
Jalen
one and a half ahead of the first ballot Hall of Famer.
But remember, JT in year 3, 4, 5 went epic for the next decade. So
let's see what happens.
JT, but if we can get 65% of JT with Jalen Phillips, we have a 100%
JP.
That's what I've been saying.
guys,
I call him Baby JT.
Yeah, you know me.
You guys are advocating for a change of defensive fronts, like to a 4-3, when this is, built on personnel that are brought in.
No, I think you just need to
be a 3-4 defense.
You're right,
I think it's fine saying it's a 3-4.
I shouldn't have said.
I think it's fine saying it's a 3-4, maybe hybrid it a little bit.
Yeah.
But you got to predicate the play calling away from focusing on the secondary being the backbone.
Yes,
and that's what Josh Boyer has shown he's incapable of doing.
Correct.
Well, shit, I feel like this was very informative with Ryan up here. Ryan, you might have to come on every morning while you're hurt. You have a new job for the next 2 weeks.
I mean, well, all right. I'm still getting paid to be at home on bed rest, so whatever.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Ryan, I appreciate you coming on this morning.
Good to see you, Ryan. Heal up, bro.
Heal up, man.
Thank
Feel
you.
better.
Y'all take it easy.
Talking about the defensive secondary and Boyer, not having Needham, not having Jones back there, severely hampered. I think Jones and Holland were the most blitzing safeties last year in the league, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Correct.
And so you don't have Jones or anybody else can fill that role because Eric Rowe, even though he had that strip sack yesterday, really isn't on the same level as Jones, right? He was brought in to cover tight ends and be that robber, so to speak.
Right.
So you were hampered by that, not having Trill Williams back there. Listen, the fact that we got through this season in the position that we did, making the playoffs with Cater, Kahoo, McKinley, and Crossan back there, playing a majority of snaps, and Xavier Howard, it's got to be said, that contract is going to be weighing on this franchise big time because he's clearly not the same player.
You know, and I was thinking about that yesterday. Let me say this about Xavier. He, for the last 3 or 4 years, every offseason was like, all right, you need to redo my contract. You need to redo my contract. I'm the best player in the league at my position. I'm one of the best players in the league. Sir, you were not one of the best players in the league this year. You were not it by far. I think it's 100% fair for the Dolphins to go to him and say, you need to redo your contract.
Yes.
Because
100%.
you, like, this is, we can't, you're gonna hand tie us. We want to win a Super Bowl. We need you to come way down and take a pay cut. And if not, we're gonna have to. And I would like to think that Xavier, for as my hope is that he says, all right, you're right. I have no problem with that.
You know,
I don't think that'll be the case, by the way. I don't think that will be.
I think. Go ahead, Cam. Go ahead.
No. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, he is not the same player that was signed to that extension. You know, you got to kick the can down the road, get him a reduction, maybe extend him a year or something. But
yeah, there's 3 or 4 players that I think, and this can be done publicly behind closed doors. You know, who knows who even really needs to know about it? Like, bring him in, talk about a restructure. If there's a lot of pushback, there might be trade talk. See what you can get to cut, you know, if you could restructure and
he definitely got trade value. He got he had a good playoff game. He is a Pro Bowler. He definitely has trade value. Not anywhere near what we should have got for him maybe a year or two ago. And by the way, I love X. I'm wearing his t-shirt right now. X-Man, actually can't even see it no more. This is what it was X-Man, a Dolphins X-Man. But yeah, like I love X, but bro, you got to redo your contract, man. 150%. You have to.
I mean, you gotta go ahead.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I got Jason Sarney. I got Cameron 954. Cameron, before I bring in the next person, just real quick, how was Veza Sore yesterday?
Veza was packed out. We had a great time. There was probably, give or take, 100 Dolphin fans there, families. It was live. It was fun. Solo D did a halftime performance. DJ Breezy Two Fly was up there getting the crowd juiced up. We raffled off a signed Jalen Waddle jersey that went to a lucky raffle winner. It was a really good time, and we can't thank Veza enough for all the hospitality and good times they've shown us, the partnership throughout the year.
That's awesome, man. Super excited about that. All right, let me bring on the next person. The link is pinned to the top of the page. Get in where you fit in.
Real quick, Steven.
Yeah.
Xavier Howard next year, $33 million in dead cap money.
Yeah, I know. That's why releasing him's not an option.
No way.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talk about Noah being like, oh, you got to keep Noah. You got to keep fuck that. You cannot. X is either going to be here or we're going to get rid of him. And he'll be a throw-in on some bullshit trade because you got to get rid of that money. You have to.
What you have to get rid of is Byron Jones's contract. I think there's a trade partner out there that makes sense, but, we'll see.
Well, maybe you package Byron and X and say,
no way. No one will ever do that.
Nobody wants those 2 contracts, but maybe, I don't know. All right, let me bring in Robert. Good morning, Robert. How are you this morning, sir?
What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Not much. Sounds like some people feel like they just got dumped by an ex.
I mean,
Freaking
some people
out.
are hurt. Yesterday is a tough loss, right?
No, yesterday was great. I expected us to get our backs blown out like a little bitch. And we fucking held in there and gave it to them. So with a bunch of third-string players, a bunch of practice players going through 5 tackles throughout the season, going through all 3 quarterbacks twice, playing in the playoff game with their third-string quarterback, our coach making rookie coach mistakes. Yeah, like it's been a frustrating season. But all in all, when I look at the totality of everything, I'm not disappointed. Right? There's a lot of good things we saw. There's some bad, that's for sure. But all in all, when I look at it, I'm pleased with all the adversity, with all the issues, kind of pleased where we came out. Because I expected us to be playing much worse in that last game, and we played really well. Now, as far as like changes, I still want to see Boyer gone. I don't trust him. I don't like a defensive scheme where you rely on having 2 shut down corners. I think that's too expensive and not maintainable. And right now, we can't run half of the stuff on our defense if we don't get shut down play from at least one of our corners. And very, very good coverage on the other side. And there's not enough corners to make corners affordable enough to play that kind of defense. Then we've also proven that Josh Allen kills that, and we play that bastard twice a year. The Jets are going to have a new quarterback that's going to be better than Zach Wilson. That's going to be problematic because their defense is phenomenal. So I don't want to roll back with Boyer, and I don't want to roll back on a scheme that relies on that we just aren't there on. But all in all, the season overall, we all learned pretty much everything but the biggest question we needed to get answered. And that's the one thing that upsets me. Like, injury-wise, I don't trust Tua. When Tua is healthy and he's out there playing and not injured, the offense is different. And like, I agree with Cameron. There were touchdown passes and plays, multiple, that Thompson missed. And I think Thompson played well enough to be our backup and have a legitimate shot next year and have an open, legitimate competition.
See, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't think a competition is a fair word. Like, he should not compete for the, like, whoever, whether it's Tua or bringing in a veteran, he played good enough to be the backup. He did not play good enough to be, like, he's not there yet. We clearly saw that yesterday. But we also saw that if he's thrown into the position with more playing time, I think he's somebody that, hey, look, if I need you for a game or two or for a quarter or for a few plays, I have no problem. And I think you're more than capable of doing that. Am I wanting him to be the guy for 17, 18 games? Hell fucking no, not in a million years. At least not right now. But I think the more playing time he gets, the better and capable he can be. And I think just like with anything, you know, look, you learn a lot your rookie year. You learn from your mistakes. And I think that just like I hope McDaniel learns from his, right? My hope is that he'll look at the game film yesterday. He'll see 3 or 4 open plays that could have been touchdowns. And he'll be like, shit, now I know to look for that, you know, moving forward. That's my hope.
So, I mean, here's the takeaway we have to think about, though. We expect everyone to improve in the offseason. The degree varies, but we all expect improvement. And if you expect that from one person, one coach, you should expect it across the board. I think Tua's better. Injury history on Tua makes me not want to extend him right now. Like, I'm not there on that. I'm not ready to call him the franchise QB because I can't trust him. But if you tell me that Skyler can't compete and have a legitimate shot with a full offseason of work and a full offseason of diving into this playbook getting some more strength under his body, working with another QB coach, working with our staff to sit there and clean up some of that decision-making process, he has a good shot.
I mean, I think I agree with you, Robert. You have to, no matter who the quarterback room looks like, you have to publicly say it's an open competition.
I don't think so. Even if Tua is there?
Even if Tua is there.
No, I don't. I disagree wholeheartedly. Wholeheartedly. Now, if we bring in a veteran to compete with Tua, that's fine, but not Skyler. Skyler's not. He's not anywhere near Tua's level playing.
Robert, I'm not saying he is, but with a full off season of work and progression and like listen, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying you open it up for anybody in that QB room. It could last 2 weeks and you can name, Tua or whomever else the number one quarterback. But going into the offseason, you have to, and because that's fair to all the players, like all the players on the roster.
Disagree.
Have the opportunity. I'm not saying that they're going to be, etched into the depth chart from day one.
If it's Skyler and Tua next year, it is not an open competition. It is Tua's job to lose again. And Skyler's the backup, Tua's the starter. If it's a veteran and you decide to retain Tua for whatever reason you might, then yes, it then goes to this is an open quarterback competition with the exception of 2 names. And that would be
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. And because otherwise those guys are not coming if they're coming for a fucking open quarterback competition.
Well, and I'll tell you this right now that even though I may have said this in the past, if Brady is signed here, then Tua's not going to be around.
Yeah, 100%, 150%. I agree with that, 100%.
Even
and
though
by the way, I want to state for the record, I think Schefter's fucking tweet yesterday is bullshit.
What did he say?
Well, yeah, he basically said that Tua is going to be retained next year as long as he's healthy.
It's the best option for the team from a contract standpoint.
No, I don't think. I think he either misinterpreted what he heard or tried to play. He tried to play it off as more than what it was, and basically it said. I think what was said is if Tua's here next year. And he's healthy, he will be the starter.
He did say expected. I think it is expected. So at the moment,
expected is what he said.
But that could change. It's almost like one of those
it's like
a hedge fund.
For me, it wasn't. It should never have even been brought up, in my opinion.
Well, he's a reporter. I mean, that's his job too to get clickbait.
But there's some things that are news and noteworthy, and there's other things that aren't. And the day before, and the day of a game where that team is playing and he's not, that's something that could be like today. I have no problem with that tweet. Yesterday, I'm sorry, I had a problem with Schefter's tweet. It bothered me. It rubbed me the wrong way.
In football, I guess things are expected until the unexpected happens. And how many times have we seen the unexpected happen, especially with quarterbacks? I mean,
a lot.
Like a million, a lot. Exactly. It's like way back when, it's like, I don't think anybody would have seen Brett Favre going to the Vikings after going into the Jets. You know what I mean? Things got really weird really quick with quarterbacks, and it still is, even with – go ahead.
And Jason, that's what I said at the beginning of the show. Like, everything's on the table. I mean, don't be surprised.
Right. I'll tell you, here's the only thing in the world.
Because this is Ross and the Dolphins.
And let me preface this. This is not me advocating or predicting or wanting this or anything. This is the only way in the world we will know that it's Tua and nothing else but Tua definitively. Someone announces, and it's shown, 5-year extension, $225 million Until that happens, everything else is spread out on the table to be thought about. But until that happens, it may never come to it. But that's what I'm saying. Expected, good work.
And listen, and you guys we all have to realize that this owner and the Miami Dolphins, they love to be in the spotlight. They love to have the drama. They loved, and he's not long on patience, right? He's 88 years old, or 78. The whole world he wants to win now, and so I don't put anything past him. Anything.
That's why I'll be honest with you guys. I'm personally convinced that Tom Brady's going to be here next year. That I just feel like that.
I do too.
Hold up on that. Do you honestly believe the Ravens are going to be able to sign Lamar Jackson?
I don't think it has anything to do with Lamar
I
or
don't
not.
think-
I think
I
it
don't
has to
think
do with Brady doesn't cost a motherfucking thing. He's going to be the cheapest quarterback of all three of them. He'll still cost a pretty penny. Don't get it twisted. But we don't have to give up shit for him.
No, that's not true, Steven.
You're
And
gonna
here's,
have no. That's not true.
here's the thing with the Ravens. They're going to franchise tag Lamar Jackson. You know why? Because it gets them compensation. And when that happens, that takes the Dolphins out of the conversation.
Or it's a situation they could do that, but probably listen. The business sense of this league, it changes every day. But they could do that and then trade it to a franchise, and then they could renegotiate the contract. But at least they can get something back to at least take that. Almost like contractually the Jarvis Landry situation, where at least they negotiated with Cleveland after the franchise to get like a sixth or something, whatever it was.
Yeah, and that's exactly what'll happen. So
Right,
at least
right.
the Ravens protect themselves, and it allows Lamar to negotiate a contract with the team
Correct.
they're trading him to.
All pre-negotiated before the news, but probably
Correct.
the bill
All right.
wet.
All right, Robert, I got a couple more people left, and I want to make sure I bring them on. Robert, anything else before I let you go?
I didn't lose my bet.
You didn't lose your bet.
No, I don't have to wear a dress.
So what? So Estefan has to wear a dress, correct?
Did Tua get benched this year?
Tua did not get benched.
Okay, that was a bet.
All right. So Estefan must wear a dress in public on camera. And,
Yep.
and the dress will be sent to him by Pamela. That'll be an interesting one. All right, Robert. I love you, brother. Be good, man. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Just want to remind you, hit the like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Can't grow without your help. Dolphin Don, good morning.
What is up, everybody?
Clock Blockers fantasy football champion, ladies and gentlemen. What's going on, Dolphin Don?
Hey, man. Well, I just had a couple things to say, man. Everybody's poo-pooing on Skyler today. And you know what? Actually, if you compare his stats to one Josh Allen's stat for the same damn game, Josh Allen threw 23 for 39. And sure, you got a lot more yards, but it's not that much difference.
It's not just stats. It's the throws. It's when they happened. It's the decisions. He was rolling out to his left. He threw into basically what was triple coverage interception. It's like the stats are stats. I get it, but they were rookie mistakes, man. And
you know what?
40
Fair.
times. 40 plus.
I'll tell you this about the Xavier Howard pick, and you can tell, like, Josh Allen, he thought about it, and he said, "Fuck it." And chucked it up there. And at that point in the game, like it was a like 2.5 score difference, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like, and it was towards the end of the second quarter. It didn't really make a difference in his mind, and that's why he chucked it up there. And if you tell also, like, X was like 10 yards off the receiver.
He made a 2 year ago X play. I mean, his positioning, it was like off, and then if you like squiggly lined X's track on that was impressive.
It was like this.
That was
And
impressive.
by the way, and let me just say that, Jason, I'm glad you said that. He made a play that was Xavier 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that everybody's like, we should just get rid of him. He should be gone. No, Xavier would be great in the locker room. He would be great as somebody playing 30, 40%.
He's got a whole offseason to get physically correct, and who's not to say that time won't help him?
Yeah, so I just don't think he should be the every down starter anymore.
No, I agree. And Dolphin, I want Dolphin Don to get back. I don't mean to go on a segue here, but listen, if X can get to 80% of X, that's okay.
And you're paying him to be a starter, though.
Yeah, but
Right.
Go ahead, Dolphin son. Dolphin.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Don.
Yeah. So okay. So I did notice some weaknesses in Skyler's game. Number one, when he throws out to the left side of the field in the flat, it's always a sinker. It's always a low ball out there. And I saw that in the Jets game. And I saw it in this game. And number two, his propensity. If he gets nervous in the pocket, he rolls out to the right every single time. That's what led to missing Tyreek Hill streaking across the middle. So those are two things right there. But overall, I mean, he played just as well as I saw Tua play when he played his third game or whatever. So
It's not like I don't want to be a guy that says he played bad or this is on Skylar. He did really look. If I'm giving him a grade, I'll give him a B minus. I mean, he didn't win. I can't give him an A, and he wasn't statistically off the charts. He wasn't Trevor Lawrence. I'm gonna give him a B minus.
Yeah.
But I think that I honestly do think that there could have been a little bit more coaching, putting him in a better position. A little bit mixed with, the 3rd and 19 decision to throw the ball is literally telling your quarterback with a gun to the head, do something, because you're throwing 3rd and 19 to the sticks. He ain't Dan Marino. I mean, you're going for it on 4th and 6, 4th and 8.
Hell, he's not Tua Tagovailoa.
Hell, he ain't freaking Joe Flacco. But, I'm just saying, if you're going to say, all right, 3rd and 19 in the chess match of football, Skylar, get me a first down. That's a big ask, man. I would have been a lot happier with a little 5-yard little hit to Durham Smythe just to get 7-8 yards with a little bit of yak just to play the field position game. But the other interception, you couldn't rely on Skylar Thompson to throw as much as he did. So I think it was putting him in a not easy position to succeed.
Well, we also averaged 2.1 yards per carry. So it's kind of a lazy take to say, oh yeah, we should have been running it.
No, it's not a lazy take, Don. I'm not saying he should have just ran the ball forward. They could have been a lot more
creative with
their scripted runs. You could have put Gesicki on one end, Durham Smythe on the other, put Gesicki in motion, and then run the other way just to throw him off or something. They could have been more creative. I'm not just saying handoff right, handoff left, handoff middle.
There was one jet sweep or two. Was it one or two?
I think it was 3 total odd plays. I think it was 3 total odd plays. One jet sweep.
Otherwise, it was run up the middle, run up the middle, run up the middle, run up. What the fuck?
Well, did you guys not see that Keystone Cops play they did down there next to the goal line where he turned around and did some kind of pirouette bullshit? That was.
So speaking of that play, Don, he made the wrong read, right? So he took the snap, he faked to the left to Smythe, who was in the flat.
Yeah.
There was somebody blocking downfield. That whole side of the field was wide open, but the protection was running right. He turned to the right and then saw that there was no one open and got sacked. He should have thrown that ball to the left in the first place. A veteran quarterback makes that read, reads the secondary, and sees where the setup is, and makes that initial throw.
And that is totally
fair. By the way, nobody's blaming
Skylar, nobody else.
Yeah, and okay, let me say I'm not even mad at Skylar for not doing it because it literally was his 3rd NFL start. I'm not
mad at him. He's in the position that play is called for him to make a decision one way or another based on a read. He didn't make the right read. That's all I'm saying.
And I believe that during game film and another year under his belt, another offseason, I think he makes a different decision next year.
That is maybe true. That may be true, but you practice that play and you go through that and you understand that if the defense is set right here, you make this throw. If it's set over here, you make this throw. It was a mixed direction throw. They should have went to the left.
I don't think either one of us are wrong. I think we're both
let me wrap the whole season up, including yesterday with the play calling to McDaniel. And this is I don't mean to insult McDaniel with this, but his genius and ability was not as advertised at the moment.
No, agree.
That's my point.
Agree. Yeah, I think some players, some coaches can do it, like Sean McVay.
Cap for life. Our combined running backs that we had available averaged 5.0 yards per carry combined through the course of the season. So I don't want to hear that. When giving the opportunity properly, they had ability to put yards. But when you're down 17 and you've only ran the ball 3 or 4 or 5 times, I don't think there's a lot of momentum to get yourself ready to roll there. And
Jason, I'm going to agree and disagree on this.
I wish they had Mostert, obviously, but
No, I'm talking about your point on McDaniel.
Okay.
He's an incredible play designer, communicating and selling it through to the field, on the field, maybe is where his growth needs to happen.
I want to ask you a question and piggyback to that. It's like you hear a lot of coaches with how they do their play calling, their quarterback risks, whether it's, one of those old John Gruden 15,000 names, or whether some coaches do like numerical or like 3B, and they look at the thing. It's like, okay, here's this, or whatever their system is. I'm very curious to know what their system is in communication, because I think that is an intangible number one.
Well,
that they need to
Oh, who was it? It's who's the old Rams Super Bowl winning quarterback? The St.
Warner?
Louis Rams. Yeah,
Oh,
Kurt
Kurt
Warner.
Kurt Warner.
Yeah.
He's got a YouTube channel, and he actually answers this question talking about
Oh, great.
Tua. And he says that Tua is exceptional because he can go through 4 to 5 reads per play, right? So it tells me that those options are installed in this offense, but because Skyler, number one, doesn't have the experience in this offense that Tua did. Number two, because he didn't get the reps through his training camp, he didn't get the reps throughout the season. And number three, you're installing a system for Skyler towards the end of the year. And so a lot of those options are taken off the table, right? And to Don's point, or it may have been Keeling's point, Skyler has a tendency, because he's confident in his first read and first read only. And it was evident yesterday, right?
Right.
So to answer your question, I think those plays are in the system, but they have to shave it down and dummy it down because of who's behind center.
They have to.
Total fair.
All right, Dolphin Don, anything else before I let you go, Dolphin Don?
Hey, much respect to all you cats, man. I don't mean to come across as coarse and terse, man.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Don, you kidding me? You're the most cordial guy that's been up here all day.
Well,
exactly.
Well, right back at you guys, man.
I love you,
Fins up.
brother.
Love you back, man.
You're the man.
Like,
all right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. I love Dolphin Don, just for everybody that love that man. Awesome individual.
I gotta ask you a question, because this really is a head scratcher. S. Harris says, "Get a real center in Connor can be emergency backup." Do you know
Played
that
100% of his snaps?
100% of his snaps, and how many penalties? He was the most penalized offensive lineman in the league.
I'm not a huge fan of
6
Connor.
penalties all year.
There's a side of me that wants to agree with S. Harris. I'm sorry.
What?
I'm not a huge fan of him.
Okay with him.
Dude, he's been the best center we've had since Pouncey.
That's not saying much, but that is not saying much.
Him,
Let's
Hunt,
get that straight.
I think Hunt, Connor Williams, and Armstead are your best offensive linemen.
That is nothing to brag about.
But I'm just saying, you don't strip it down because you're starting to have continuity.
I'm just saying, if another opportunity at center that's better comes along, I would definitely take it. But I don't know what's out there and what's available.
All right. Look, again, to the point that all options should be on the table. If an all-world potential center comes along and says, "Hey, yeah, we're going to move Connor to left guard," I ain't got no problem with that.
No problem at all.
I got no problem with that.
But I'm just pointing out the fact that he played a really good center for this team 100%. And was an anchor and offensive line that was shit all around him.
Give him an A-.
Let me get Fins in the house. Good morning, Fins in the house. Welcome to the show. Take yourself off mute, Fins in the house. You're on mute. Fins in the house. Hello, Fins in the house.
What's up, fellas? How's it going?
What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, I can't call it, man. Out here doing a little bit of work.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up. Go ahead.
Can you hear me now?
A little bit better.
Okay. Well, I ain't gonna keep it long, man. I just wanted to pretty much just get up and say appreciate everything you guys have done for this year, for the season and the playoffs, man. Kind of switch it up a little bit. Just roller coaster of a ride from meeting you in Baltimore. From as crazy as that was, from that whole situation. And kind of getting into the season. It's just been a couple of ups and downs, but we're Dolphins fans, so we're used to that. But pretty much I just wanted to kind of harp on what you all have been saying. As far as bringing people back in Boyer and everything, it's kind of pretty much like Cam and everybody else is saying. It's questionable, but if you look at the games, it's kind of hard to argue because it's they just put you in positions to win, for a number of games. But then you look at the end or the score or the box score or at the end of the game, and then you see 34 or 30 points or it's always questions who do you blame or who does it fall on. So I know that's one of the things that everybody wants questions to as far as this year in the off season. But pretty much just to wrap it up, just wanted to pretty much just say appreciate y'all, man, everything y'all do every morning. Definitely was nice meeting all of y'all. I don't believe Jason, but Cam and yourself. Definitely a pleasure meeting both of y'all. And look forward to hopefully not waiting 6 to 8 years for the playoff appearance and getting our win and seeing y'all fellas a lot more next year, man. So appreciate everything y'all doing.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Fins
you,
in the
man.
house, man.
Thank you, man.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you, man.
That was awesome. That meant the world to me. Look, there are a lot of good things to harp on this year, but most importantly and first and foremost, the camaraderie of the fans and being able to interact. East 32 had a big year this year. Thousands and thousands and thousands of people throughout the year got to go to our tailgate. We got to put on some amazing events, tailgates, as well as watch parties. Great sponsors. This was a very, very fun year. I'll recap the year probably another day this year, just in general with everything and everybody. But look, I know we finished quote unquote like 9-9, and it didn't end the way we wanted it to end. But again, yesterday I just left the game feeling it was like bittersweet, and that's kind of how I felt. I don't know about y'all, but that's kind of how I felt yesterday. I was like, man, this sucks that it ended, but we went down swinging. We went down. We were in the 12th round. We were going blow for blow with the heavyweights, and it felt good. It felt good.
I mean, look, if you're looking for the future, I mean, we played the Bills, and what did we lose the 3-game series by? 4 points total, 6 points total, whatever it was, with the differential. We have a rivalry with the Bills that brings me back to the mid-90s. Cam, you were there. Marino versus Kelly. We'll see in the playoffs. It was like that's what they were saying to each other after the second game. You win, but Bills win in Buffalo. Miami wins in Miami. We'll see you in a couple of weeks. I think we're back there because the Jets are now figuring themselves out. The Patriots.
Who knows if they clean house?
I'll tell you, the Patriots are the equivalent to Rome because they're crumbling. That dynasty is coming down. One way or the other. And now it's the Dolphins and the Bills.
Belichick's going after Shula's record, so he's stay.
He's got 5 more years, 6 more years. Good for him, but maybe he could do that with someone else. Who knows? But Brady was.
You think real quick? You think?
I don't know.
No way. Belichick has a lifetime contract with the Patriots.
Whatever it is, but I saw a great stat where Belichick, I think, is like 2-9 in his playoff postseason record without Brady, and like whatever the record is with Brady, but you can imagine. I don't know. Yeah. Whatever. The whole Belichick, forget that. But the point is, this team is built right at the exact moment, pending on what they do re-signing. It's all about figuring out the quarterback situation. So they can make 100%. Good moves. They can make good moves. So I know right now the cap doesn't look good. It doesn't. But after the 28 free agents at the moment, right now there are 28 guys who were Dolphins yesterday that aren't anymore. They're not. They're going to go through their interviews.
Could you imagine Tom Brady here next year with Skylar as the backup, and Skylar gets to learn from Brady for the next year? That would be fun. I'm sorry, it would be.
We got to go through this offseason.
I'd have all faith in Skylar after Brady's tenure. Then,
Steven, let me ask you this, and I'm regurgitating this question off someone off Twitter because I think it was like outer space, unfathomable to think about, but it got me to thinking, and what we were talking about, like anything's on the table. Would you package Waddle and some draft picks and Tua to Chicago for their number 1 pick?
No way. There's nobody I want in this draft.
They would never.
There's nobody I want in this draft.
Well, you draft the Ohio State quarterback, then sign.
Nope. CJ Stroud's not worth it.
No.
But I'll tell you, next year, when Caleb Williams is available, I would almost give up my left arm for Caleb Williams to be our franchise quarterback the next 10 years.
This is almost why, and look, it's fun to joke around, and if you're being serious about it, I guess I can understand why people would be serious about, well, we can bring in Tom Brady, we can bring in Aaron Rodgers, we can go for Lamar Jackson, maybe Derek Carr. No, I don't think that's the right play. I think that you have to see what you have with Tua healthy. Imagine Tua healthy. I mean, it's an imagining right now, and you have Skylar, sure. And let me just put this out there, and Steven, I don't want to hit a nerve, but I think Skylar was drafted. Certain guys are drafted where their cap is a career backup.
Correct.
And that's Skylar Thompson.
And I agree with you, Jason. Like I think that's the
Chase Daniels, the greatest job in the world.
And you know how much money he's made throughout his career?
He's made a career living.
But to your point, Jason, like, and what I said earlier, from a salary cap standpoint, like Tua is the best option this team has next year. And look at this offense and how it functioned.
Thanks,
How this offense functioned when Tua was healthy. And listen, you have to give it another shot. Do or die for this franchise.
All right, real quick, let me bring on my brother from another brother, Von Joe. Good morning, Von Joe. I've heard you've had a lot to say this morning.
No, I'm over it. No. First off, we're just gonna start off with the last thing you said. There's no such thing. All right, get it out of your head. All right, stop imagining. Stop living the world of ifs. Because I know you guys, Dolphin fans, we love the world of if. If this and if that. I F this, I F that. There's no fucking such thing as if Tua's healthy. All right, that's not a possibility. All right, one thing that he has shown you, there's no realm of fucking possibility that he stays healthy for 17 games. Name a season that he's been healthy for a whole entire season.
You're setting me up for obviously a bad answer because he's played 3 seasons.
There's no such thing, Jason Sardi. That's why. There's no such thing. Dating back to fucking high school. High school.
I said that contractually.
He's a walking.
You're not winning this argument, Jason, with Von Joe.
I get
You're not winning it.
I get it. I get it.
And again, just because you see a nice deal on a fucking Pinto, that don't mean you go buy it.
Did I not say that all options could potentially be on the table? And the word
That's a nice deal on a Pinto. Why are you?
That's what he is. He's a Pinto.
Von Joe, did I not mention it?
Yeah, he's good on gas mileage, but the shit's about to break down the street. And it's going to cost you more money in the long run.
Listen, Von Joe, I'm happy to go back and forth with you. Take a breath for a minute. Take a breath. Take a breath.
Oh, this is me actually very relaxed because my expectations.
This is very relaxed, Von Joe, Jason.
Yes.
No, I hear you, but you got to let someone get through a sentence because I'm losing my train of thought here. If someone puts 4 options on the table that are legitimate options, quarterback-wise, I really would have to think about that. But legitimately, you're not bringing in Aaron Rodgers. You can't bring in Lamar.
Why not?
There's no capital for any of that.
There's no capital.
Why not?
Why not? Construct a scenario for me.
Listen, again, I don't get paid 7 figures to figure that shit out.
Von Joe, now. I want to ask
I'm telling you, and I've said this repeatedly, Jason Sardi.
I'm asking you.
This Chris Greer had 8 fucking years to try to fix this shit.
Von Joe.
Fix it.
You a direct question. I'm asking you a direct question. I'm going to name a
You
quarterback.
can ask me a direct question. Mm-hmm.
Let me ask it, and then you
Go
can
ahead.
answer it. Construct me a
Go
deal
ahead.
for one of those quarterbacks. Construct me a deal. Construct me how they're doing it with their space and draft capital. Aaron Rodgers or Lamar Jackson or Tom Brady, construct it for me. Leave out Tom Brady. Construct a deal for me. I don't want to hear all your little dances around. I want to hear your answer. Construct me the deal for one of those quarterbacks.
Trade whoever you need to.
No. Specifics.
No. I don't give a fuck about. See, Jason, sorry, this is where we differ. I give zero fucks about specifics at this point. My Miami Dolphins, we've had great. Hold on.
You just want to win.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Oh, now you want to finish.
We've had great defenses since we had Marino, correct?
No.
We've had great. We have solid offenses. So again, all those pieces, we could find defensive players. We could find offensive players.
In the last
but
35 years.
So we haven't had a solid O-line.
Joe, what drugs are you taking this morning?
We did, Von Joe, man. I'll tell you.
Hold on. So you say since Marino, we did not have a solid O-line, not once?
What about the O-line?
2016.
Oh, no.
Thank you.
Exactly. 2016. Again, we were able to construct O-line. But again, when we had that O-line, we had no
one O-line in a 25-year span.
But we've had zero fucking quarterbacks.
I still want to know the deal.
Zero.
I still want to know the deal to construct with the salary
Again,
cap.
see, Jason Sardi, this is where we differ. I don't give a fuck what the deal is.
Then
Trade away whoever you
illusion.
listen. No. You're not listening. Trade whoever you need to get the guy. That's the one position that we haven't been able to fix for the beginning of fucking time.
right,
Bonjo, if Aaron Rodgers wanted to come to Miami, he would come because of playing with certain wide receivers. And in order to go get Aaron Rodgers, you'd have to give up certain wide receivers because you have no fucking draft capital. None. You have no
Not
capital.
necessarily. Trade away the defensive side of the ball.
You want to get rid of Christian Wilkins? Are you kidding me?
Yes.
No, that's the stupidest thing in the world.
Have we not drafted great defensive players outside of Christian Wilkins before?
I understand, but Christian Wilkins is a generational
Exactly.
talent.
It's easier to find another Christian Wilkins than finding this guy.
It was hard to find Christian Wilkins. What the fuck are you talking about, Vonjo?
Again, it's easier to find him and another him than finding a fucking quarterback. Because that's the one
Vonjo, you know what?
Able to find.
Vonjo, if you give me a mission statement without a business plan, it goes straight in the trash, and that's what you're doing.
Hey,
goals without a plan.
Clearly, we have a GM.
Nothing but a dream.
We have a GM.
Goals
We have a
without a plan.
GM. We have a GM that actually runs our fucking team that has no mission statement. He's just out here doing shit.
Are you kidding me, bro? Are you on
What
the
has he
same boat that Cap for Life
What has he
is?
given us? What has he given us?
All right, Vonjo, do you? All right, I'm going to ask you
Let's
something.
talk about it.
Let's talk about it, my guy. Let's give me yes or no answers. Does Chris Greer deserve to be the GM here next year?
Nope.
Does Mike McDaniel deserve to be the head coach here next year?
Depending on what we have in the future.
Yes or fucking no. Pick one.
That's a trick question.
That's not a fucking question.
Yes or
No,
question.
hold on. No. See, here's the thing. Mike McDaniels, he's the one position that you only do if there's an upgrade. Because it's his first year. Again, i.e., if Harbaugh is available, get him the fuck out of here. Bye.
All right, so time out.
No,
I'm not done. I got this, fellas. Don't you worry about it. I got this.
You ain't got jack shit.
Joe. You're also mad. Correct me. This is a yes or no too. Yes or no?
Mm-hmm.
Are you mad at the Dolphins organization for the last 20 years?
20 plus years. I had to press on.
And part of that frustration and being mad is you felt as though they've been doing very similar things, expecting different results. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you, in that same fucking breath, just told me, get rid of the GM. But if there's not a better head coach, keep the head coach. Bro, for years, this franchise has either retained the head coach and got a different GM or retained the GM and got a different head coach. They have never completely just fucking cleaned house with everyone and washed their hands, with the exception, I think, of Bill Parcells when he came through, if I'm correct. And even
Steven,
then,
you know I missed the Terry
Johnson was there during that transition. Hold on, I'm not done, my guy, because here's the other problem to that, too. We sit here and talk about, oh, my God, what I don't want is Tannehill 2.0. And the reason that people don't want Tannehill 2.0 is they don't want another 7 years of the same fucking quarterback and expecting mediocrity or mediocre results. Now, you're expecting...
We talking about bringing back Tua. Okay.
You in the same breath just told me, bro, get rid of the GM, head coach maybe. I didn't even ask you about the fucking quarterback yet because who gives a shit? And you're expecting different results? That's bullshit. If you were going to hit the reset button as a franchise, they should have done it last year. They didn't. They did it. They went to the playoffs this year. Only third time in the last 20 years. And by the way, they had the closest game they have ever had in playoff history since like the 1990s, minus the one they won. Okay, so you want me to no? This is if McDaniel does this again next year, by all means, he goes. But
so we do that at the 33.
At
that point, 66% of the windows closed.
Chris Greer deserves to stay. McDaniel deserves to stay. If you want to get rid of the defensive coordinator and special teams coach, I'm 100% fucking on board with it.
I have a fun question for Von Joe. I have a fun question for you, Von Joe, and I'm going to allow you to just cook on it. What's your ideal
I'm just
scenario?
throwing questions, and I can't rebuttal not one of them?
You're not even letting me ask the question. Dude, you got to be quiet for a second. Seriously.
I was just trying to rebuttal Steven.
Von Joe, what's your ideal scenario for 2023? What is your ideal scenario for 2023 for the Miami Dolphins?
Oh, listen, I'm okay with bringing back the defensive side of the ball and just getting a quarterback that could play me 17 games.
Who?
The defensive side of the ball that gave up 30 fucking points a game this year?
I mean, no, but he says that, and
Yeah,
then he's going
that
to bring
was-
in a new quarterback. So I'll tell you who you could afford. If you're going to keep
The
this
one
year,
that, yes, Steven, the defensive side of the ball where
And
more
let me
than
be
a
fair,
quarter
it
of
wasn't
more
quarterback.
than a
30,
quarter
it was
of
what,
the starters were
27,
out for the fucking
27,
season.
28
Who's the
points?
quarterback?
That defensive side of the ball, where more than a quarter, they had injuries at every level.
I get it.
We
But
had a
who's your
cornerback
quarterback?
gone, safety
Who's
gone,
your quarterback?
DN gone, defensive lineman gone.
Should we
that
bring back?
defensive side of the
Should
ball.
we even? Should we bring back a Landon Roberts
Fucking
because you
hell.
just said everybody? What
No,
about
no,
a
no, no,
Landon?
hey, go ahead and bring him back for situational purposes. Why not?
Oh my God! I have heard it all from you. You fucking hate a Landon Roberts, and you're telling me now you're saying
See, that's where we differ. That's where we differ.
I can't believe a word that's coming out of your mouth, Joe. I don't believe it. Okay.
Let me know when you're done. Let me know when you're done.
You just told me the man you
Are you
hate
done with-
more than anybody else on our
Are you done with
roster.
your Are you done with your connection?
Go ahead,
I hate
Vonjo.
Landon Roberts. I hate Landon Roberts as a starter.
But as a
Keyword, I said situational purposes. Short and distance, he is.
This year,
short and
you
distance,
sat up here on my
short
show
and short and
verbatim
distance.
said that man can't hit the wrong side of the bar. That man shouldn't be allowed to hold the jock strap. He shouldn't even allowed to be the towel boy on this team. You
Are you
fucking
done?
said
Again,
that
are you
shit.
done? Are you done?
And now he's good enough to be a backup?
So
Or-
hold on. Do me a favor. Go get your flip flops out of the closet, put them on, because you know this is the home of the flip floppers. So I don't even know why you're surprised by my take. For fuck's sakes, mate. Again, short and distance. He have proven to me this year that he's good for short and distance. I call him crash out Roberts. That's what
Bro.
he's good for, to crash out.
People
All
are
again.
losing their
Give me
minds
a
right
quarterback. Give me with this offense and these weapons. Give me a mediocre quarterback that could play all 17 games, and we'll do better. And these are facts.
And who is that, Vonjo?
We'll find
Again, I
him.
don't give a fuck who it is.
We'll find him.
That's the thing.
That's
the
such,
guy.
that's such a
We'll find
bad
him.
because you're all right. So all right, here's the example, Vonjo. I said on Friday, I said all last week, I said, look, X is gonna get killed. Like I'm just telling you. But there's nobody else. I said I'm even half tempted to say Noah should get some snaps on Sunday. Okay. That's how desperate I was because I knew X would get killed. Now, here's the reality of the situation. X played the best game of the year on Sunday and still fucking got killed. And there was no better option. None. So with that being said, if there's no better option on the table, or I don't know who that option is, you go with the status quo. Now, as far as the quarterback situation is concerned, you know how I feel. Availability is the best ability. And he's not available. So as far as I'm concerned, on that alone, Tua should not be the starter here next year. I love the kid. I love him. I think he's got the goods, but he can't fucking stay healthy. And I can't with how good this franchise can be and good graces and good thought and good conscience, give him another year to try to do it again. It would be tough.
But they're mentioning fifth-year options, and you're okay with it. You're not gonna say no.
I don't think
You don't have to admit your option yet.
You think Tom Brady's coming here with this offensive line?
No.
Fuck no.
Do you think Aaron Rodgers is coming here with this offensive line?
No,
Wait, hold on.
their own guy.
Hold on. Why y'all motherfuckers act like these guys that you just mentioned don't bring their own players and recruit?
You gotta
Anybody
pay
coming-
them. There's a
You gotta
salary
pay them,
cap,
Monjo.
All right,
So-
all right, Xavier.
Y'all keep talking about this fucking salary issue. Fix it. I don't give a damn what it is.
Fix it.
Listen, you have a GM. So so at that point, just based off what you guys are saying, let's give up on next year also. Let's just look into 2025.
Vonjo, you want
next year as
Tyler
well.
Heineke, don't you? You want Tyler Heineke. Just say
No,
it.
no. Let's talk about it. Let's say fuck.
Give me a
because-
player.
Let's say
Give me a
fuck
name.
next year also.
Give me a quarterback's name.
Excuse me.
This-
How many people we got watching, Steven?
You cannot
How
say
many people we got
excuse me,
watching?
128 people.
Give me
Listen,
a quarterback.
all 128 people that's watching right now. Let me help you guys out. Fuck next season. We're gonna run it back, and we're gonna have the same results.
Vonjo, there's only one
That's such a
quarterback.
half empty ass point of view bullshit take I have ever heard from you.
No idea what.
Because that's what you guys telling me. You guys are complaining. I'm saying, yo, find a quarterback. Well, who do we want? All right. Well, guess what? Based off what you guys are saying, there's no hope for next year. We're gonna run it back.
Nobody
They're
up
gonna
here
repackage this. They're gonna repackage. They're gonna repackage this
Nobody has
bullshit.
said that on
And
our
guess
fucking
what?
show today.
And again, I don't want to upset Cam, so he's gonna tell me to go sit there and root for another
Except for
fucking
Captain
team.
Light. Nobody said that.
All right.
I didn't say that.
No, that's what Cameron
We're not
954 said
complaining,
earlier to say.
Mongo. Who the hell's
Hey,
complaining?
you're gonna complain. Go
Yeah.
complain. Don't complain about the players. Go root for another fucking team. You know what? There are two teams in goddamn Florida.
Who's complaining, buddy? Nobody, except for you and Cap.
Exactly.
You are the only two that
we
complain
understand
today.
Cap. We understand Cap. At least he makes a point and has some facts to back it up.
Wow.
Joe, you came up here real
So, hold on.
left field today. And
All
not
the- hold
only
on.
did you come
All
out
the
of here out of
facts
left
have been
field,
stated.
you then tried to sell me on why Landon Roberts should be on this squad next year. Of all the people,
First of all, ain't nobody trying to sell
people
you.
in the
I
world,
didn't try to sell you shit.
never expected that from you. Never.
First of all, I didn't try to sell you shit. I just gave you a reason why you can't be.
Disappointed in you, Von Joe.
Two, when it comes to, see, you made me forget what I was about to say. God damn it, dude, be quiet.
Because you want to Landon Roberts on the squad. That's what I got from your take today.
What is it? Hold on, let me try to find it. Because I know it has something to do with this. I know it has something to do with the goddamn future of this team.
You don't even know where you're going with your take, bro. Stop it.
Because, dude, again, I am afraid that this team, and we know this team, they're about to repackage horseshit with us and say, hey, man, there's that new ice cream.
No, but you know what? Repackage what? We made the playoffs. We didn't make the playoffs last year, so it's not repackaged bullshit. It's not the.
Oh, fuck me, fucking oh gosh, oh my gosh, oh my fucking gosh. We were 9-8. We were 9-8 last year, and we were 9-8 this year.
Didn't make the
And
playoffs.
we
We're 9-9.
we made the playoffs because New
We're
England shit
9-9.
was
Get your
fucking bad.
facts straight, Von Joe. We're
9-9,
9-9.
Von Joe.
Fuck me, man. Jeez.
No thanks.
Oh, we made the playoffs. Oh, hey, Thank God New England sat there and shit the bed so we could go to the playoffs too.
Okay.
Thank God the Jets
intentionally shit the bed.
And again, and if we sit there and bring back the same team again, like other teams are not getting better. We sat there and said this last year, Steven. At the beginning of the season, we sat there and said, did we get as good as the other teams?
Here's what I said, Von Joe, to get it straight. I said, if the Dolphins don't win a playoff game, everything should be considered on the table. I'm not saying that they should execute that. They should be considered depending on how it went. They did not reach their goal this year of winning a playoff game, but they did make the playoffs, which is more than I can say from 95% of the regimes.
And we
over the
beat
last
Buffalo,
year.
which is more than Flores did in 3 years.
And correct. And I said, if the Dolphins want to show me that they're good,
and lost to the Jets as well.
They need to be at least. They need to be at least competitive with Buffalo. They were the most competitive team of any team this year with Buffalo. We never once got stomped out by them. We lost. So the 2 games were a 1-point differential. You take the loss. Out of 3 games, there was only a 4-point differential. Out of 3 fucking games, bro.
Right,
We
so
made that next step.
go ahead and
Bro. We made that next step. That was part of the goal. Be competitive with Buffalo. Show them that that we can play with them. Be on the same field with them. We fucking did that. Did we do that the last 3 fucking years? No, we didn't. So we made improvements, significant improvements. Fuck the record. Everybody wants to tell me all the time, oh, don't tell me about the fucking record with Tua. Don't tell me about Tua's record. All right. Well, don't give me the fucking record about the team when it comes to this bullshit.
The record with the team, with the team. See, that's the thing. People that sit there and say, don't tell you about a record about Tua. Again, there's only one record with Tua. He's our quarterback right now. He's our number 1 quarterback. There's only one record.
Right now, it's the offseason. We have no clue on where we're going with that. And I still think Adam Schefter's tweet is bullshit. I'm sorry, Jason.
Hopefully, we're going to a fucking dumpster fire with him. Throw his ass up in that shit.
He's not a bad, but it's also fair for me to say in the same take, his ability, he improved. He got better. Tua got better this year. Tua
Because how we
significantly
acting-
improved this year. Tua didn't
why-
stay healthy this year.
Why?
And that was
why?
one of the caveats I needed with Tua. Stay fucking healthy. He didn't do it. He didn't do it.
Why are we acting like December did not happen for Tua? Like dog shit December did not happen.
It did.
Keep
I
moving
can't.
the
I
goalposts
can't justify
for you.
December.
Because y'all keep saying that, oh, he's this great this, great that. Like dog shit December did not happen.
You want me to forget about the first the first 3 quarters of the year, and only take into account the last quarter of the year?
He got 5 games in
That's
the
not
first
fair.
quarter. He got 5 games in the first quarter. Then you got the last quarter. That's called inconsistency. Say it with me now. Inconsistency. Along with his help.
No, they were the model of consistency. They were 3-3, 3-0, 0-3, 5-0, 0-5.
You could make the argument that nobody was more consistent than the Miami Dolphins this year. They were really fucking bad or really fucking good. There was no in between.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
I can't argue with that.
If you want to say it that way. If you want to say it
Can't
that
argue
way.
with that.
Every time, you got a present, and when you open up, it's dog shit. You got another present, and you open it up, it's dog shit.
And it's such a bullshit.
Maybe it's a little Von Joe. I'll give you this. Maybe
Von Joe and Capra Life, who I love dearly. I love both those guys like they're my brothers. Okay, love you, Von Joe. I do. But it's such a bullshit take in my no, I do, bro. I do. It's such a bullshit take to say that this is the same repackaged crap from years prior because it's not. This is a different fucking. No, it's not, bro. No, it's not. It's not.
Steven, you could try to rehash Family Matters for me and put different characters in there. But guess what? Actually, different actors. But guess what? It's the same fucking characters with the same fucking result.
I'll give you this, Von Joe. This team this year gave us a little less smelly turd than the last 3 years.
But it's still a turd.
Little less smelly, little smaller.
But guess what it is? What is it? Say it with me, Cameron.
That's progress. Listen, we had a better winning.
Hey man, listen. If you guys are, listen. Just because it's less smelly, just in case you guys are okay with eating turds, I'm not. I'm good.
I'm not either. But
I don't give a damn if it's less smelly or not. It's still a turd.
Listen, 5 years ago with Josh Allen, the Bills were a big pile of horse shit, and they got better.
I'm still workshopping the name of the new show, Mid Blockers, home of the Miami Dolphins mediocrity loving fan base.
There it is.
Fair point, noob.
Anyway, Steven, I got to get to work. I'll holler at you guys.
Hey, Von Joe, I love you.
Von Joe, we love you, man, but take that mission statement to work and tidy it up a little.
No, fuck all that.
Joe, I hope you have a vacation coming up, my man. You need a massage, a relaxing day. You need something.
No, I just came off 2 week vacation.
You and Cap.
I came off 2 week vacation.
You need
you and Cap need to go together.
You know what the Dolphins gave me during? You know what the Dolphins gave me during that 2 week vacation? L and another L.
And you gave me a migraine this morning. We're even.
Von Joe eats chicken bacon.
Go eat your chicken bacon.
Welcome to my world of being a Dolphin fan. This is what we get.
Your world, it's our world, brother. We're all in this shit stream.
Oh no, y'all like this. Y'all like this world.
Never
Y'all
gonna
like
let
this.
you down.
Y'all want
Never
this.
gonna run around and
Y'all love
hurt
it.
you.
Y'all love this alternate universe. I don't like it here. Chris,
About to
y'all
get
love it here.
rickrolled in this bitch. All right, Von Joe, get off my show.
I took care of that for you.
I love Von Joe.
I booted him.
I did not boot you. That was all Jason.
Sure did. You booted him, Steven. I see it right back here.
No,
You booted him.
not me. Von Joe knows I love him. All right. I got one more person. I got 2 more people. Okay. Mark from Bill's Mafia. Hello, Mark. Is Mark sleeping?
Nope, I'm here.
Okay, I thought you were sleeping for a second, Mark. All right.
Nope, just listening. Yeah, I just I want to kind of contrast your points about with Greer, McDaniel, and Tua. I really think that you take a look at the overall record of Chris Greer in the time frame that he's been actually the appointed general manager, and you look at the blown draft picks, you look at the bad trades, the horrible salary cap situation, and I just wonder how you can retain him. As far as McDaniel is concerned, he's a first-year coach who was really a coordinator. And when he left San Francisco got better. I don't know what he's doing on the sidelines. I don't know what he's doing with his timeouts. I don't know what he's doing with his time management. The whole thing has been a disaster. He's taken a 9-8 team and turned it into a 9-9 team. Thank you very much. And of course, Tua, you've got a fragile quarterback who plays well against the Lions, the Bears, and the Browns. But when it comes to games against the 49ers, the Chargers, the Bills, etc., this guy disappears. So those are my opinions.
Did Tua
Take them as you
disappear in
want.
the second game in Buffalo in the regular season? Tua disappeared there, Mark?
Tua had a 49.9 PFF rating in the second
Did
game in
Tua,
Buffalo.
hit Trent Sherfield in a perfect place in the end zone and Sherfield dropped the ball? Did he also not hit Tyreek Hill in the hands in the end zone? Tyreek Hill didn't catch the ball. Did he also
Okay,
play on
Jason,
the road?
do you know what the net there?
Mark,
Jason, do you know what the-
Mark, I'm going to talk to you. I've also seen the way you've spoken to some people in the chat. I'm going to give you my direct thing. You can't put that on Tua the second game in Buffalo. And you can't come here and say that what McDaniel did was a disaster. What he did as a rookie coach is there's learning, okay? And what Greer has done as a GM, there's been negatives, there's been positives. All right. He had constructed a Laramie Tunsil deal that got him a treasure trove of draft picks. Now you got to put it on the players to perform. Your Bradley Chubbs. Let's look about your Javon Hollins. Look at your Jalen Phillips from that deal. Jalen Waddle has done something. He's broken records. So, yes, he's missed, he's whiffed, but there's been a lot of good that he's done. They got to put this all together. So I think you're going a little bit too heavy on this, Mark. That's my
I
opinion.
don't think so. And Jason, let me just go ahead and address a point. The whole net of the Sherfield drop, the Hill drop, was a net of nothing because you got a field goal and Singletary could have walked in and scored.
How much did they lose by?
They lost by 3, but Singletary could have
what's
also.
What's the difference of a touchdown and a field goal?
Jason, if you let me finish.
I'm Mark. Sorry, I'm coming off of on Joe, but just directly answer the question. You're saying it was a 4-point differential and they lost by 3. I'm not a math major. I'm a communication major, so when my line of communication is over, I'm going to allow you to pick up yours.
Anything else, Mark?
Jane, you ignorant slut.
Mark?
If nobody up here is old enough to get that reference, Jason, I know you are.
I do. Saturday Night Live is the best.
Flipside Fishing with his $5 donation says, I can't believe I'm saying this, but these are facts about Tua, Mark. But those are facts about
I'm just
Tua,
ready
Mark.
for Mark to talk respectfully. I would love to hear a side of it. I love to debate like I'm at a bar. I like to pretend I'm online, speaking like I'm sitting to you at a bar. We both got our beer. It's your decision to say one thing. It's my decision to say
you
another.
just drink that cup like ain't none of my business.
That's all it is, guys. I will talk and debate sports until I'm blue in the face if it's a good debate and it's a good, respectful talk.
All right. Well, I don't know where Mark went, but he obviously left. But you know who didn't leave?
You shut him up.
What up, guys? How's everybody today?
Hello, Peter.
Oh, it's Pete.
Peter Takes. Hello, Peter's Takes.
Hey, fellas, man, so happy to be here with you guys. Mad as a Dolphin fan, but I gotta say, I'm happy about the future right now with this team. They made me so happy yesterday. I mean, it was a beautiful game throughout. I know we felt like we were done and out in that first quarter, but something kept telling me this game is not over. This is going to change. I felt like we were going to win. Now, I loved every bit of it, but I got to ask you guys a question. Why did we lose that game yesterday? Go ahead, Jason.
Well, hold on. No. We've been giving our takes. We want to know your takes, Pete. Why do you think we lost the game yesterday?
I'm gonna tell you right now.
Why did Skyler lead this team to an almost win?
If I have to give the short of the long, if there's a direct reason why we lost the game, gun to the head, game plan. And that includes clock management, that includes timeout references, that includes everything. Game plan. Now, does that mean that McDaniel, it's all you, fire him? It's almost like you could blame a guy who missed the last free throw to tie the game and to win the game. It's not his fault, but he missed a big shot. Why else did they put themselves in that position? McDaniel and the game plan was a massive reason. Then there were other things sprinkled that I wish I would have seen better at, but I wish the game planning was better. Again, 4th and 1, if they make that play, if they don't get that delay a game, we're talking potentially victory Monday. That's my take.
How about you guys?
We already
I
gave
mean,
our
my,
point. We want
I
to know
mean,
from you.
look, despite all the penalties we went through, despite all the BS we went through in that game yesterday, coaching, bad play calling, not getting the plays done in time, are you guys aware that if our two first round draft pick worthy wide receiver just makes those catches in the first quarter, the momentum and the game is a different game. Okay? This is a wide receiver. Not only did we spend two first round draft picks to get, our quarterback that we selected top 5 is not there, fighting to get back into this, right? Depend wherever you guys want to lie at. This 7th round rookie, Skylar Thompson, was able to overcome a lot of all of that and still have us in this game. Mind you, the defense had a lot in play, but the defense also gave a lot of big plays on crucial situations. They did well on normal downs, but in critical downs is when they let us up and they let us down. Moving forward with this team, as a fan, I'm so sold in at the moment because of Skylar Thompson. This is the main reason why I am so confident moving forward into this offseason is because of Skylar Thompson. I don't think right now.
You think Skylar should be the starter next year, Pete?
I think Skylar is the starter next year, Steven, moving forward. I do believe that. And this is going to be the craziest take this whole fan base ever heard. Watch this. This is going to be the craziest take this whole fan base ever heard. And I firmly stand on what I'm saying, Steven. There's a possibility this regime can go out and give everything out to Lamar Jackson. Wait. Listen to this. This is a scenario where we're in right now. Listen to this. We're going to go out, give the bag to Lamar Jackson if that happens. Listen to what I'm telling you. There is a chance that even if that happens, I promise you, Skylar's still going to find a way to get on that field soon because of the injury concerns with Lamar Jackson. And we're going to be in this situation. Wait. And we're going to be in this situation, that the Redskins were, right, with RG3 and Kirk Cousins, where the better passer on the team is the backup quarterback, but the better athlete at quarterback is the guy that we paid all this money to. I know what I'm telling you guys. What we have here in Skylar is something you build around. This is the guy, bro. This is the guy. He stood after the loss and blamed this entire game on himself. He said, I lost us this game. I lost us this game. And this is someone you can believe. He had some fault at this game losing, but it wasn't all on him.
You do realize Tua said that this year, and you were like,
but there's a different. It's different. Like, look. First of all, Steven, I wasn't blasting him when he said that. But also, what you need to realize is there's a difference. There's a difference with the way he said it and the way Tua said it. If you really want to be actual there. There's just a total difference. Like, it's just so fraudulent coming out of Tua. Now, again, I'm going to sit here and tell this fan base the best thing moving forward.
Hater.
It is what it is. I don't need people or this fan base who agree with me. I just know that I come on certain platforms. I know the Miami Dolphins are listening. And as a fan, I don't need to be liked. I just want to be heard, Steven. And shout out to you, Jason. Shout out to Cameron. Shout out to Steven. At the end of the day, getting rid of McDaniel is the most important move right now. We need a real head coach, okay? And Jason, you can grab your face and hide it and all you want. But I'm going to ask you something right now. Doug Peterson does not make those mistakes he made yesterday.
I agree.
That's okay.
He's a super
okay.
The last 10 minutes.
And look, and I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I use Doug Peterson because I didn't want to rile this up, but I promise you, Brian Flores does not make those mistakes that we had yesterday. Okay, and that is a fact. So So you can cover and take off camera all you want, Cameron, but at the end of the day, we have a coaching problem. That is the reality of it. And he was also brought here only to save Tua. Tua, yeah, might have looked a little better, but let's not act like it wasn't the talent that made him look better. Okay?
Steve, I gotta
The
go take a
talent
piss, but I
made
can
him look
still
better.
hear you.
Okay.
Thank you, Cameron. So since we just got to move on from McDaniel, Greer, and Tua, and let the next guy believe in Skyler or whoever quarterback he brings in. But regardless of the fact, I know this organization, the whole organization knows what they have in Skyler. And moving forward, I am proud of this organization and happy to be a fan of this organization. And to be quite honest with you, again, I'm going to repeat it, even though as much as you guys might not want to hear it. I don't think Tua in this year is going to be a part of this team. I don't think McDaniel this year is going to be a part of this team. And I also don't think Christopher Greer is going to be a part of this team when we get off into this offseason moving forward.
All right,
that's just all I'm going to say. And that's the sentiment that we have here in Florida, and that's what it feels like in our hearts. Thank you for having me up, Stephen. Have a blessed day, gentlemen.
I love you, Steve.
I mean, at least he came across as like thoughtful and like fun joke.
I don't know if it's a troll or if it's serious. I don't know if he's being satirical. I really
Oh,
honestly
he's
don't.
being serious. He's being serious. All right, I know I have people in the back, but I got to get off here, guys. I got other stuff to do. My kids are home for the day. My wife is off. I did 3 hours with you guys, but I got to go. I got stuff to do. So we're going to do final thoughts real quick. Jason, Cameron, give us our final thoughts of the day.
Go ahead, Cam.
Hey, man. Listen, we'll get into all the semantics. We've got all off season now to pick apart what should be done, what could be done. I'm thankful this platform to connect me with guys like Jason and Vonjo and Pete and Cap and everybody else that we've had the pleasure of interacting with. Mark from the Bills, all those guys throughout the season. It's been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get into the off season and chop it up on different platforms. East 32 Dolphins Tailgate grew. Miami Sports Network grew. And the Miami Dolphins grew. And that was our objective before the season started, right? As fans and operators of a platform that offers this opportunity for everybody to have a voice. And for East 32 Dolphins Tailgate, we grew, and Tail Greeter. It's been a great season from that perspective. It's been chaotic. It's been fun. It's been depressing, but we made the playoffs. And as incremental as progress has been, it's still progress. Right.
It was, I'll tell you what, up until the last 45 seconds of that game, it was fun as hell to watch. And I enjoyed being a part of it.
It was enjoyable. And that's all we can ask for. I mean, we could have been, we're not the Texans.
Are you not entertained?
We're entertained, man.
We were entertained. Yes.
And listen, we're on the right path. We have to trust this team to continue moving towards that path. That's why I think Greer is still here. That's why I think McDaniel is still here. And that's why I think even Tua is our quarterback for next season. You don't disrupt something that obviously could have worked, would have worked, has worked. We'll see. And that's my take, man.
That was well
Jason
said, Cam.
Carney.
Well said, Cam. I mean, look, sometimes it's this thing is a little bit about more than wins and losses. Yes, it would have been great to celebrate a win. It's always fun debating. I try my best to do it at the same kind of climate that I get. You come in cool, you get me cool. You come in hot, you get in race car in a red. And that's how I kind of live my life.
Spicy Jason, as it was said today in the chat.
I don't
like spicy
it.
Jason.
I don't like it. I like to be nice, calm, and cool.
Jason was like, I'm not taking no more of this shit.
But what I do want to really say is, I think I tweeted this morning. I appreciate a lot of people out there. Stephen, you one of them. Cameron, you one of them. I got the joy and pleasure to watch you guys in action. I'm talking 7:30 in the morning. Ridiculous heat, setting up the shade for people. Cam on a grill at 8:30, creating amazing tailgate foods. And listen, Miami Sports Music has welcomed me on to do my thing. It's going to be a lot more consistent, because I came aboard, like week 7, week 8.
Yeah,
But,
we got basketball season now. We got baseball season coming up. We got, we got a lot of stuff to talk about, and a lot of Dolphins news. The Dolphins news keeps coming. So we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Oh, we're not going anywhere. We got a lot of fun things. Steven and I were going to talk about some fun things that we'll do off-season, draft, Cam 2, next season. I know in my neck of the woods in Philly, Dolphins are playing the Eagles.
We got 3 big tailgates next year that Miami Sports Music is putting on. DC, we're going to be doing that one. We're going to be hosting a Saturday or the night before meet and greet and a huge tailgate that game. The Baltimore Ravens game, we're doing the same thing, even on a bigger level. We're going to do a meet and greet. We're going to do a tailgate. And the Philadelphia game, we're going to be doing a meet and greet and a tailgate. And Miami Sports Music's going to be hosting all 3 of them along with Tail Greeter. So we got a big one in there.
Kansas City too.
And sounds like Kansas City's also going to be there too. So we got a lot of cool stuff lined up next year for the tailgates away games. And you already know at home, we got it on lock with East 32 Dolphins tailgate with Cameron.
And let me say that real quick, Stephen, the partnership with Veza Sewer is going to grow. We found a spot for all the away games, watch parties to happen in Veza Sewer, and we'll make that happen going forward.
Well, I like that. I know I got to talk to them about that and get all those details ironed out. But it sounds like that's awesome because we got good stuff. Finn's in the house. Hit me up on Twitter and I'll send you my address, man. All right, let's do it. Let's enjoy the show. It might be, I don't know if it will be 2 a time, but maybe it will be, maybe it won't. We don't know. But I love you all. This has been a great show today. Therapy Monday. I know we lost, but we got a great show lined up for you this whole week. We'll keep it mowing. We'll keep it moving. Mowing. Y'all be good. Miami Sports Music. Let's go.
Whole squad been trained to go. Being for life, we throw the folk. Singing this just to welcome bro. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine.